Go to hands, where the good meal and feeling means incredible savings and financing on Karastan area rugs and carpet.
The Joseph Michael Chubbuck Foundation presents Montana Smith and the Curse of the Golden Crocodile, a live mystery dinner theater experience with the Acme Mystery Company. Montana Smith has snatched the golden crocodile of the Amazon, and it's about to be unveiled at the Municipal Museum of Natural History. But everyone's been acting rather strangely. Could it be the dreaded curse of the golden crocodile?
Join the adventure Friday, October 24th at Harts Hill Inn in Whitesboro, New York. Enjoy a cocktail hour from 6 to 7 p.m., followed by a buffet dinner. Solve the mystery and make a difference. It's all to benefit cancer patients in financial need. Reservations are required. Register online at thejmcf.org under events or call 315-339-5993. Brought to you by Association for Vascular Access, CNY, MVHS, Core Vault Solutions, and the Oneida Health Roswell Park Cancer Center. Join us Friday, October 24th at Harts Hill Inn in Whitesboro.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Davey, I might bring you on to ask you a couple questions about that if we could. Good morning. It's going to be a little cooler today.
That's okay.
I guess.
I'm good with that.
So we'll be, and actually this morning, Ben Simons is in Farmer Ben. We could talk with him a little bit. And of course, Beth, I did enjoy the 80-degree stretch that we had. And it was, I sent out an email to my kids on, or a text message to my kids on Monday saying it's a sad day. And it was a picture of them closing up the pool.
Oh,
sad day. Sad. I went as long as I could.
Allison was talking about that the other day.
Oh, she wanted it closed, I swear to God, in August. But what happens, too, is you get the leaves start blowing around, and it just becomes a mess.
Yep.
So that ends.
It's officially fall.
It's over. We'll speak also along this environmental angle with Roseanne Laparco this morning, the Master Gardener at Cornell Cooperative Extension. In studio, Pat Bescher, Mohawk Valley Water Authority. This is big. Your rates could be going up. We got our National Grid bill. Holy crap. Like... I had my last night my wife was going around and she was turning the lights off as I turned them on. Like it was very high.
Well, we're on the budget plan at our house, and we actually got notification and we got a bill last week, I think it was. Our budget plan actually went down.
Oh.
But that was, they plan that on what you've spent already, how you've used your energy already. So I'm kind of half expecting and kind of prepping myself to say, no, just kidding. It's going back up for next month.
Ours went up significantly.
Yeah.
So we'll deal with that situation. But water is going up, too, as well.
Yeah.
And we'll speak with Pat Bescher on that. In studio this morning is Father Sean O'Brien. He'll be in later on. We got a packed program.
Good.
Ryan Nobles from NBC. We'll get to that. And this guy, you were there yesterday for this. There seems to be a divide in the Republican Party in Oneida County. Davey, and you were at the press conference. This guy, Paul Pickett, is challenging. Apparently, he had challenged something at a recent meeting, and they took him out. They called the police on him.
Yeah, he got escorted out of the recent Oneida County Republican meeting that happened later last month.
And interestingly, he says all sorts of rules were broken, and he wants a public apology from Ken Rozier.
Very nice fella. I met him yesterday. Very nice. Very nice fella.
And if these things aren't done, he's asking for Rozier to step down.
Right.
So we'll speak to him. It's going to be early. It'll be in about 10 minutes. He'll be in before 7 o'clock. So he had a press conference yesterday. I know that Rozier gave a statement to KTV. Mm-hmm. Wow, I wish I had hair like that. That Ken Rozier hair.
I know.
Man. And it doesn't gray. He just looks younger and younger every time I see his picture.
He has hair just like his father because is that it? My family, on my mom's side of the family, was very good friends with Ken's mom and dad, my grandparents.
Okay, and he had a lot of hair.
And my mom and my uncles grew up with Ken's family. So
and did their hair gray?
No, Ken's father always.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It's about the genes. That's what it is. That's what I've
Well, I made
heard.
up for that. My hair started going gray on the day I graduated from high school.
Right. I mean, you have.
I skipped gray altogether and went right to white.
And that happened early for you.
Yeah, my hair started turning the day I graduated from high school when I was 18. I found my first.
Wow. I know others who have gone through. It's very interesting how that happens.
Yeah. I do. I have my grandfather's hair too. I remember my grandfather, very, very thick and very, very white.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I always thought it was we had an uncle who my great uncle was in World War II and was a prisoner of war. Oh. And when he came home, he was in his early 20s when he came home and he escaped the Germans.
God bless.
They were in a transport, and all of a sudden, this was about 1945, I think they were in a transport, and all of a sudden the German drivers stopped the vehicle, and all these POWs were inside the back of the truck.
Yeah.
If you can envision that. And they're waiting and waiting and waiting and nothing. So they began to get out. And the two German soldiers deserted the vehicle. And
they just
walked away. And were able to find Allied soldiers.
Wow.
And were ultimately saved and rescued.
Wow.
So, but spent some time as
that'll give you gray hair.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is all of the letters that back and forth between my aunt, and she was contacting people here at WIBX, contacting people at WSYR in Syracuse,
trying to track him down,
and then finally the letter that came that said we have found him. It's just really an amazing story, and everything is in a scrapbook.
That reminds me, when I was in first grade, my dad was in Vietnam, and we all took a vote. In first grade, Miss Jones, my first grade teacher, said we should write letters to one of the servicemen to let them know that their families are here and they're loved and they're supported and everything.
And here's your
father. The class picked my dad.
Wow, that's awesome.
So we all wrote letter, and you're in first grade, so it was the lined paper, with the solid line and the dotted line and the letters were all 3 inches tall because we were just learning how to write good. And when my dad passed, you know how you have to go through people's belongings. My dad saved all the letters.
Wow, that's awesome.
I found a box on the bottom of his dresser going, I wonder what this is.
Yeah.
And I opened it up, and you bawl like a baby when you find things like that. But I was like, oh, man, this is like a chunk of family history that's probably going to be buried with me.
Right. Wow. That's, there's almost a storybook that could be written out of that. And I guess what I was going to say is maybe my Uncle Fred his hair didn't go gray because of the war. Maybe it was just genetic.
Right?
You just don't know. Interesting stuff. So, and that story from you was, and your dad came home.
My dad came home, and he was never, I'm sure he had his issues, but I'm sure Mom was the only one who knew about them.
Yeah.
He was happy to come home
Yeah.
in one piece
Never
to a
talked
family
about
that was
it.
waiting
Yeah.
for him. Never, I think he talked about it the whole time in my memory, maybe twice.
Wow. It is, how did we get on this topic? Oh,
I know.
hair. Coming soon to the Stanley Theater. No, I don't think that's true either. I got a break. Let me break, and we'll come back. We'll do an update here at 6:33. Beth brought in something.
I was going to say, let's talk about something good
amazing.
And harmless. Apple muffins.
We'll talk about that,
okay.
And we'll speak with Paul Pickett, Oneida County Republican committee member, who is accusing the county GOP chairman of wrongdoing, and he wants, number one, a public apology, but some changes in the way the practices are conducted, and that the rules be followed. Rozier's statement to KTV last night, I was watching that, and the statement was that I know the rules, and we are following them perfectly. So we'll get to it coming up at WIBX.
Next cold front on our doorstep, and temperatures will come down. A frosty morning coming up again on Thursday. Clouds giving way to sunshine today. Maybe a shower kind of lingering around somewhere early. 57 later. The wind will start to gust 20 to 25. Tonight, clear, down near freezing, so some frost tomorrow morning. North Country will be in the 20s. Sunshine later in the afternoon, 55. Cold morning Friday morning, then sun near 60 later. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Well, we're starting a little bit cooler. It's 49 and cloudy at WIBX.
Beautiful woodwork adds warmth and charm to any kitchen. But years of use can leave your cabinets worn and faded. When you call Enhance, we'll make your cabinets as good as new again in as little as one day for a lot less than you'd pay for traditional refinishing or replacements. Whether you want to renew your cabinet's original finish or completely change their color, just tell us the look you want and we'll help you get it. Or bring your hardwood floors back to life. With most Enhance renewals, you can use your floors again the same day. Plus, there's no mess, no dust, and no odors. Call Enhance today for a free in-home consultation. We'll explain the process, we'll show you how your cabinets or floors will look when we're done, and we promise you'll be really pleased with the price. And when you trust Enhance, you'll get the skilled workmanship and attention to detail we bring to every job. There's no obligation. Call us now at 738-1113. 738-1113.
Hi everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're turning sweat into support with our Burpees for Boobies Challenge. Here's how it works. All month long, you pay $1 to nominate someone to do a burpee, and every dollar goes directly to breast cancer research. It's a fun way to get involved, call out your friends, and raise money for an incredible cause. And if you're new to Fit Body, don't forget, we're also offering 3 free sessions to help you get started. So stop in, join the fun, and let's make every burpee count together.
Whatever you need to haul, landscaping tools, heavy construction gear, or even livestock, Clinton Tractor has the trailer for the job. Choose steel, aluminum, or galvanized frames from 500 pounds to 55 tons with trusted names like B-Wise, Eager Beaver, and EB. For trailers, parts, and service you can count on, visit the Caledona family at Clinton Tractor.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
Rating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I did think of you yesterday, 2 days ago. I thought of you, Beth, when my wife had said, "You know, you bought those pears. They're just
want a recipe?
They're just gonna sit there, and they're going to get rotten, and it's gonna be more wasted stuff that you bought at the grocery store." So I'm like, well, no, I was waiting for them to soften just a little bit.
There you go.
And I guess it would be a pear cobbler.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Oh,
I'm saying,
good.
That was really good.
Because I can email you my pear bread recipe that I brought in a few weeks ago.
I like that.
Yeah.
In our house, it is a shared. Most of the cooking I do, but my wife, who did not cook in the beginning, sometimes it's like, well, I want things my way, so I'm cooking now. So maybe 1 or 2 times a week she cooks, and then otherwise I cook. And Manaski is in here. Good morning,
Morning,
Jeff
Jeff.
Manaski. Good morning. I got to figure out which mic you're on.
I love how you say she didn't cook in the beginning.
In the beginning, there was I don't know. Light.
There was pizza to go.
Pizza to go. In the beginning, I cooked. I did all the cooking.
So
I've always cooked.
You reference it's like a point in her history, but you're referring to when you first got together, of course.
Correct. In the beginning. In the beginning.
Not her beginning.
Yes.
Your collective beginning.
Correct. Well, in her beginning, she never cooked.
Never.
But I think as time went on, and I'll tell you that, like, my daughter is both of my boys cook. It's just different today. Like it's like when I grew up, Dad would barbecue.
Yep.
And make chili. That's it. You're in a different world because your father was a chef.
Yes, and my mother
is a chef.
Was excellent in the kitchen as well. So I never learned. In the beginning, for me, was tomorrow.
So
I haven't learned anything yet.
We I remember we had I was in radio and television class in BOCES, and Tina Verno was my teacher. I was a junior in high school, and she decided we were going to have an international day. And I remember what it was like when you could first cook on your own. You could do your own thing, or you could actually you had a license. You could drive through the drive-through. All those things you wanted to do when you were a kid, you did. So that meant a Big Mac, fish fillet, 2 cheeseburgers, and a chocolate milkshake, and the Diet Coke. You get the Diet Coke. Anyway,
the symbolic Diet Coke.
I filled that thing with so much cheese because I always wanted more cheese in the lasagna. To the point when she cut it open, Tina Verno, this stuff just oozed out all over the place, and it was just one giant mess. But in a bowl, it was pretty darn good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So since then, I've been learning how to cook. Anyway, so we made the peach cobbler.
Good.
A la mode.
Great.
Which I think we talked about a while back.
Yep.
With a little bit of ice cream. So
yeah, at our house, my husband's the griller.
The griller, and
maybe
like my dad would make chili.
Nope.
But today it's a little different. Today, both my father does more cooking than he used to. But the modern house today, I think, is shared services, right?
I think a lot of it's to go.
There's a lot of that too. It depends on what your household is. It may be a lot of DoorDash stuff
I don't
today.
admit too loudly that when my daughter was growing up, my husband and I were both working full time, and there were a lot of chicken McNuggets and fish sticks on her plate for dinner.
Nothing wrong with that. TV dinners, all of that
She's
crap.
one hell of a person and makes us proud every day. So
I will tell you that it's always nice to know that that you are making enough money to be able to afford $135 DoorDash pizza and wings.
And the $75 Happy Meal.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, what would we pay to have stuff delivered?
Matt, and I'm just sitting here thinking while you were talking about your cooking story, I was like, God, when I was little, the big deal was to go to McDonald's. There was no such thing as a drive-through. No such thing as it. I'm like, I feel I might need help getting out of the chair this morning because I feel really old right now. I'm like, oh my God, I was
before
doing
the
fast
drive-through.
food before the drive-through.
The drive-through was a cool thing, and
wow.
And we didn't do a lot of when my father worked at Remington Arms. My mother didn't work; she stayed at home. That was a job in itself, right? We've heard that. But at that time, a dinner out was McDonald's.
Yep.
Or Big Jim subs down in the valley,
no subs.
Or God forbid we'd go fine dining at Ponderosa.
Yeah, that's what that was considered to be, right?
It was kind of like that. Okay, yesterday Davey was at a press conference where a member of the Oneida County Republican Committee has made a formal objection, and I'll read it from here, to improper conduct and procedural violations at a recent and prior committee meetings. at recent prior committee meetings. This was directed towards Ken Rozier, who's the chairman of the, we were just admiring his hair, chairman of the Oneida County Republican Committee. And I believe police ended up being called on and basically because Paul Pickett was challenging something, and that does not seem to be the Democratic or Republican way, using Democrat in a different way.
Procedurally challenging things, not
correct, not
challenging
throwing things.
people in parking lots or something
well,
like that.
Let's bring him in here right now. Paul Pickett, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so we've kind of given a little introduction. Why don't you correct it and tell us what really went down?
Well, my audio didn't come through during the introduction, so I actually don't know what you just said about me.
Okay, all right. I don't know why that would happen, but nonetheless, so just tell us what happened.
All right. Well,
so you were. What we had said is you were challenging some things at a committee meeting, and you were basically shuttered. And at one point, police ended up being called, and you were escorted out. That's what we were told.
Yes. Well, shall I give a 2-minute prepared statement that summarizes it pretty well?
Okay.
Is that all right? That's why I read the press conference.
Okay. All right. Well, summarize it for us. I'll sit and wait.
Okay. Sorry, is that a yes? All right. Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you organize yourself just for a second. Give you a moment to calm down a little bit. Organize yourself. Are you in a car right now, or?
No, I'm not. I'm sitting at my desk.
All right. Well, let me let you organize yourself. And I want to go to, while you're doing that, I want to go to Davey. And what was your takeaway from the press conference yesterday, Davey? You were one of the members of the media that reported on it.
He basically explained what he outlined in the press in the media release that he gave us.
Okay, well, why don't you give me? I feel like a dentist this morning.
I don't have the. I gave
and
you
I'm
the
taking
information.
out wisdom teeth.
I gave you the information. I don't have it in front of me.
But from recollection, just a brief 10-word summary.
That Mr. Rozier was in wrongdoing with Paul. Paul was trying to make a point, and he didn't let Paul.
You would not let him talk.
Yes.
Okay.
And had him physically removed from the meeting?
Yes.
Physically removed by, authorities,
Police.
essentially. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, Paul, I'm assuming you've organized yourself there and can take it from here.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify if you wanted my 2-minute speech or just wanted me to start with conversational talk.
Do you want to read your speech to me?
If that's fair game. Don't have to.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a bit unorthodox, but let's hear what you said yesterday.
Okay. My apologies. This is my first time on the radio.
I understand. No worries. And believe me, some mornings I wake up after a couple of cocktails. It feels like it's my first time too. So, and those are in the morning, by the way. I'm just kidding. Okay, here we go. This is what you read from your statement. Let's start that way.
Okay, we'll jump to the middle. Okay. Good morning. I'd like to thank you all for coming. My name is Paul Pickett. I am currently a member of the Rome Republican Committee, which is part of the Oneida Republican Committee, and I'm here today to demand corrective action be taken from Oneida County Republican Committee Chairman Ken Rozier for violations of law and rules pertaining to the September 25th quarterly meeting of the Oneida County Republican Committee. Mr. Rozier conducted that meeting using illegal proxies, which were not properly witnessed as required by Article 4, Section 2 of our committee's bylaws, thus giving him a quorum and the votes necessary to push his agenda of new bylaws, even after several members objected using Robert's Rules of Order, including an attorney on his bylaws committee. He ignored several members' attempts to adjourn the illegal meeting. He attempted to ignore and then threatened for me to be removed. What was my crime? Claiming my right to have the chair's decision regarding the illegal proxies be appealed to the body for judgment as to whether we would be ignoring our bylaws or not. He had me removed under police escort without due process for removing a member.
Can I interrupt right now for a second? What did you do to prompt the police action? Did you get violent? Did you scream? Did you kick? What did you do that caused police to escort you out?
I dared to quote the rules.
Okay. All right. That'll get you every time. Okay, continue, and then I'll ask you some questions.
Okay. And Mr. Rozier's conduct was unbecoming. He was condescending towards the members who were attempting to exercise their rights. He repeatedly apologized to the rest of the body for their conduct rather than his own. As for the election law that was broken, New York State election law and our bylaws explicitly state that any proposed amendments or new bylaws must be mailed, not emailed, as was done in this case. Mr. Rozier did not follow the law, the bylaws, or Robert's Rules of Order. Last paragraph.
Okay.
Mr. Rozier has received a formal letter of objection from me asking for a public apology to myself and the other members of the committee and to redo the meeting of the 25th adhering to the law, bylaws, and Robert's Rules of Order, or to step down as chairman. And if he does, then the remaining officers must see to rectifying these injustices. If such demands are not met, I'm fully prepared to take legal action. At this time, I would like to open for questions.
Okay. All right. That is, I have a question over here.
All right.
All right. Okay. So we understand now what your complaint was, and I mean, are you asking us to believe that you in an orderly fashion you challenged what Mr. Rozier said, and it ultimately led to you being escorted out by police?
Yes. Police actually showed up and asked me behind me, like, can we talk over here, buddy? And I turned to him and asked, am I being detained or are you arresting me? He's like, no, you haven't done anything criminally wrong. And I said, okay, then I'm going to keep talking to my people. And I turned around and said, the officer said I didn't have to leave, so I'm going to keep talking. And I just continued to quote my rights.
Yeah. That you have the right to, I mean, it is these Republican committee meetings, Democrat committee meetings, these political committee meetings have many by rules that need to be followed. You feel that these rules were broken.
Yeah, it's actually really, really stinking simple.
Yeah.
There's two rules at play, and Rozier's ignored them all year.
What are those rules?
One is called point of order. Any member has the right to interrupt whatever's going on and point out that a rule is being broken, whether it be people are name-calling or the chair has made a mistake in how he's doing the meeting.
Yeah.
And the chair is supposed to rule on whether or not the objection is well taken or not and adjust.
And you say, go ahead.
Rozier has basically objected and shamed, but sometimes allowed those in this past year. The second is appeal the decision of the chair, which is if two members, one person says appeal the decision of the chair, and somebody has to yell second. If two people do that, then the chair must submit whatever decision he just made as a motion to the body to decide whether they agree with him or not by a majority vote. And what the body gets discussion. The chair gets to speak first, why he decides what he did. The body discusses, votes, and they either vote with the chair or against the chair, and that's the decision, and then the chair continues with the meeting. To my recollection, an appeal decision of the chair has only been tried twice this entire year, both times by me, and the chair attempted to fully ignore it both times.
And you're a member of the Rome Republican Party.
Yes.
So this is what I've been told, and you tell me if this has any truth, because I was trying to do a little background work on this yesterday. The Republican Party seems to be in kind of three different groups. There is the group that is extremely loyal to Rozier. There is the group that is considered just your average Oneida County Republican committee member, and which by the way tends to support County Executive Anthony Pacini. And then there is the Rome Committee. And at some point, it seems that Mayor Lanigan has fallen out of favor with Mr. Rozier. Do you feel that any of those things are true, or correct me if there isn't something that is correct?
That's not quite where I was drawing the line with something unique to Rome. I have not been. All right, let me collect these thoughts again.
Okay.
There's been two Republican committees in Rome all year.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rozier started a second when he said the first
Correct.
one was illegitimate because they were late in the reorganization meeting.
Yeah.
And his assertion was that he had to restart the committee. And
Well, that's where the whole
fight about
Kim
that.
Rogers controversy started, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that would be.
Yeah.
I voted for Rozier. I expected, as a lot of people, I believe, largely from the Constitutional Caucus PAC, that were part of a big push to take a lot of positions in the Republican committee so that we could elect Rozier and that we would have an increase in democracy compared to what had been the case.
So you're a Constitutional Caucus member.
I was. The
You were.
Constitutional Caucus actually just dissolved. I've not been a member for a year. We had
Okay.
internal fragmenting, and it has since dissolved. But its leadership.
Although,
started.
if I'm correct, the Constitutional Caucus is really the reason that Rozier won chairmanship. I mean,
That is my understanding.
Yeah, I mean that group became quite large, and that's probably why he won the vote. But then there became this controversy in Rome, and continue. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Yeah, I could clarify about Rozier becoming chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
I supported him for those reasons. I am more aware, though, of Robert's Rules of Order. I had 5 years of student government back in college, and we had Robert's Rules of Order, and it went smoothly. It went well. We didn't even need appeals because when you had a point of order, the chair just corrected appropriately.
Right. Which is normally what happens in these meetings.
Yeah. Most people from the caucus, when the new chair, Rozier, just basically acted like he's in charge, they didn't know to see that as a problem. A lot of the legacy members recognized it was a problem. There had been a lot of complaint, though, that they hadn't held to the rules themselves with past chairs. I wasn't there, so I can't speak to it myself. I do have a recording from 2 years previous that I can substantiate some significant amount of points of order not being heard well. But anyway, so there was an appetite for more democracy. When Rozier got in first meeting, I was like, that was not how you handle points of order.
Right.
Oh, no. And I tried to just correct him as someone who was on his team. And I expected he would just learn and improve. And that has just not happened. And I was horrified. And have continued to be so. But I've come to accept that that's the conduct that he is currently planning. And so, well, I could go into what I was planning to do about things. And this last
let's wrap it up. So my guess is you're not going to get what you want out of Ken Rozier based on his statement yesterday. He said to WKTV, "I know the rules. We're following the rules." And in other words, your claim is ridiculous. What do you do next if that happens?
That's lawsuit. That's the only other play.
Okay.
If I may, I would like to insert one thing. A massive line was drawn in the sand for me when just 9 days before this September 25th meeting, they were putting forward an entire revision to the bylaws, a complete overhaul. And one of the 74 changes that I noticed. Oh, by the way, they sent these out without highlighting what any of the changes were.
Right.
I went through and I spent 8 hours comparing and highlighted all 74 of them. And one of them was the complete removal of Robert's Rules of Order.
Wow.
Which carries the rights of the body and the structure for how the chair and the body will relate and discuss and accomplish the body making decisions. And he was just going to remove it. And he acts all innocent, like, oh, no, this is what the bylaws committee has chosen. But he pushed really hard in that meeting that illegal proxies or no, we were going to do this thing.
Okay, I'm running out of time. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I want to talk to you again as you proceed, but I have a couple of comments. I have somebody saying here, this guy was one of those people recruited for the Constitutional Caucus that had no clue how Rozier and Zecca would conduct themselves. How do you respond to that?
Accurate. I had no idea this is what we were in for.
Okay, and the second person is asking this question: are you at all concerned that many of these committee events and these Republican Party events are actually held inside Rozier's own property, so that in his venue, their restaurant banquet hall, and that his agency is the one handling all of the advertising, et cetera, et cetera? Does that concern you?
I think it's a valid concern.
Okay.
I haven't looked into those very closely, but I think that's fair to be worried about.
All right. Well, you've got some people's attention out there. It's going to be interesting to see what comes next. And I appreciate. I know it's not easy doing these things, but I do appreciate you coming out. We will. Do we reach out to Rozier for comment? I guess we will.
I wish I had 15 more seconds on a crazy thing Rozier did. Is that okay? Or
yes. Can you explain what the issue was that caused all this?
All right. You're going to have to wait. Can you wait past the break?
I see that here.
We have
Can
a
you
news
hang with
break.
us? Hang with us here for a minute.
I'm going to put you on hold, and then you can tell us that, and we'll make that the final element. Davey, if you could chat with him and let him know we have a break coming right up, and it's a news break, and it's about to take it from me right now.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
One of the bodies Hamas turned over wasn't a hostage. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Forensic examination in Israel shows it's an unidentified Palestinian. The other remains given were dead hostages, but so far Hamas has still only turned over 7.
The news will add to tensions as families await the return of 21 deceased loved ones. The first phase of President Donald Trump's peace plan had a deadline for Hamas to return all hostages, living and dead, by noon local time on Monday. Terms published by the Israeli media last week appeared to acknowledge that Hamas would struggle to locate all of the bodies in time.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The ceasefire deal also calls for Hamas to lay down their weapons.
If they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
President Trump with a warning to Hamas, which is already in breach of the agreement by not returning all 28 of the deceased Israeli hostages. In Gaza, Hamas terrorists continued carrying out extrajudicial killings in public squares of those they suspect of collaborating with Israel, and clans they suspect could threaten their authority.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin in Tel Aviv. The U.S. military has blown up another boat off the Venezuelan coast suspected of trafficking illegal drugs, the 5th one. President Trump posted video of it on Truth Social, writing they killed 6 narco-terrorists on board. At the White House on what would have been Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday, the president paid tribute, calling the murdered conservative leader
a fearless warrior for liberty, beloved leader who galvanized the next generation like nobody I've ever seen before.
He awarded Kirk the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, accepted by Kirk's widow, Erica.
Charlie, baby, I know that you're celebrating in heaven today, but gosh, I miss you. We miss you.
6 foreign nationals will have to leave the country for social media posts making light of or celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination last month. The State Department revoked their visas. Civil rights groups have criticized that as violations of free speech. America's listening to Fox News.
Dr. Halbert here. Are you tired of standing in front of the paint aisle wondering which product really works? That's exactly why I invented Blue Stop. It took me 10 years to perfect Blue Stop's unique and effective formula. As a surgeon, I saw how stiff joints, sore muscles, and body aches kept too many people from enjoying life. Blue Stop works fast, absorbs quick, and smells great. No prescription, no waiting. It's on the shelf right now at Walmart. Feel the difference.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
Same old at the Senate.
On this vote, the yeas are 49, the nays are 45.
So once again, a funding vote failed. So it's now day 15 of the government shutdown. Both parties blame each other.
Donald Trump literally has spent more time on the golf course than talking to Democrats.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries keeps demanding provisions be added to any funding, including rolling back looming cuts to Obamacare subsidies for some Americans. Republicans say they can negotiate that later, pushing for a simple funding extension. Speaking of Republicans, some are in trouble over what they wrote in a group chat that later leaked out.
Messages in the group chat among leaders of young Republican organizations in several states repeatedly use racist and homophobic slurs, refer to black people as watermelon people, putting political opponents in gas chambers, and loving Hitler. The 7 months of messages on the Telegram instant messaging service were obtained by Politico. The board of directors of the Young Republicans National Federation is calling on everyone involved to resign. The entire Kansas State Young Republican organization has been shut down. Its vice chair at the time of the chat is let go by the state attorney general's office. A Staten Island, New York state assemblyman fired his chief of staff who made the Hitler comment. Chris Foster, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising after yesterday's mixed close. The Dow went up about 200 points, but the NASDAQ lost 172. Now to the baseball playoffs.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are 2 wins away from returning to the World Series. The defending champs beat the Brewers 5-1 in Game 2 of the National League Championship Series, taking a commanding 2-0 lead. One night after getting an all-time pitching performance from Blake Snell, Yoshinobu Yamamoto turned in his own gem. Yamamoto became the first Dodgers pitcher to throw a complete game in the postseason since 2004, with Milwaukee's only run coming on a leadoff solo home run from Jackson Chourio in the first inning. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
Now, the Game 3 of the American League Championship Series tonight in Seattle. The Mariners won the first 2 games, beating the Blue Jays in Toronto. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Mostly cloudy skies, 49 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. Closing arguments will be heard today in the murder trial of 3 former corrections officers at Marcy Correctional Facility. Yesterday, the prosecution rested its case against Nicholas Keefer, David Kingsley, and Matthew Gallagher, while the defense also decided to wrap up its case without presenting evidence or calling any witnesses. All 3 men were allegedly involved in the beating death of inmate Robert Brooks last December. If convicted, they face a maximum sentence of 25 years to life in prison. A video of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is not being shown at Syracuse Hancock International Airport. The video has been posted at TSA checkpoints nationwide and features Noem blaming Democrats for triggering a federal government shutdown that has dragged on for 2 weeks now and led to issues at many airports. Officials with the Syracuse airport have not commented yet on the decision not to show the video. TSA employees at the airport have stayed on the job, and there have been no mass sick-outs because of the government shutdown. We're speaking this morning with a member of the Oneida County Republican Committee about what he sees as violation.
Paul Pickett is his name.
Yeah. Violation of Robert's Rules of Orders at a recent county Republican meeting.
You want to bring him right now?
Yeah,
why don't we do that? Paul, we're going to bring you back in here, and I know you wanted to add just a couple of things. Let me just say that you mentioned the attempt to remove Robert's Rules. First of all, you say not to follow Robert's Rules, which is customary in any of these public committees. And the attempt to remove them and changes to the bylaws, along with several others. Failure to witness proxies they used to get a quorum. Much of this, you say, is illegal, and that you are challenging it. And then one more, after Rozier took over, he kicked out the person that started the Constitutional Caucus. And because the committee treasurer was still friends with that person, Rozier sent a law enforcement officer to the treasurer's house to retrieve the treasury books. This, like police officers don't have enough to do, he's sending them out to do, quote, according to this person, his dirty work. So this sounds like this is a big mess. You wanted to add something before you were done. Do you want to comment on anything of what I just said?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but sure. Yeah, the leader of the after the Constitutional Caucus had its first election in 6 years, last year, Robert Lott won that election, and he's on the executive committee for Rozier. And when they dissolved the caucus, most of that same leadership group went and started what's now called Celebrate America. And yeah, I think what you said was accurate about the treasurer.
Okay, that is also accurate. All right, you wanted to add something before you were done.
Yeah, I can try. I'll keep it to 15 seconds, and you can tell me if you want another tidbit or two.
Okay, all right.
Rozier, it was pointed out to him that we would have no rules now, none whatsoever, for how we run meetings. And he went, we'll work on that. So he threw together a rules committee, and in a couple weeks, they spit out something they want to ratify a special meeting they're calling. And one of the juicy bits is it has an express ride to being tossed out of a meeting and to have your rights stopped, and you can appeal it to the executive committee in writing within 10 days afterwards, not to the body. So the body is removed.
Right. And the executive committee would be something that is, let's just say, friendly to Mr. Rozier.
I believe they serve at his will, so he can throw them out and replace them anytime.
Okay. Any member subject to disciplinary action beyond a verbal warning shall have the right to submit a written appeal to the executive committee within 10 days. The executive committee's decision shall be final. Yeah.
So, Paul, can I also ask, what was the issue that prompted all this? Was there a major rule change? Was this about endorsing a particular candidate?
Or did has this crept up and it's a series of things? Manasseh's question.
He's been ignoring rules of order the whole year. Like, we haven't been able to use our proper rights. But in this, he was making a complete revision the first time in 15 years of the whole bylaws. And one of the 74 changes was to just gut and remove Robert's rules of order with no replacement. And he just acted like that was just obviously okay, quote unquote, because it's too complicated for smaller committees. We have 300 people. We have smaller subcommittees, but Robert's rule specifies how to handle it with smaller groups as small as 2 or 6. At 12 and up, it says use the full rules, but also ignore everything that's not helpful. It tells you how to ignore the minutia if you don't need it. It explains that. This is completely uncalled for. Yeah.
Okay, and then here it says violations of these rules. All members are expected to conduct themselves in accordance with the rules of order. They must confine their remarks to the agenda. Repetition or unrelated commentary will not be permitted. The chair may extend time limits for each speaker and may allow more than 2 speakers at their discretion. All members are expected to conduct. So there will be only 2 speakers in comment, is what I think it said here. Violations of the rules shall be addressed in a fair and consistent manner. Penalties may be applied progressively depending on the severity and frequency of the violation. First violation, if you violate the rules in this Republican committee meeting, there will be a verbal warning from the chair. Second violation, formal reprimand recorded in the minutes. And a third and subsequent or egregious violations, suspension of the member's right to speak or vote for the remainder of the meeting, and or referral to the executive committee for disciplinary action, up to and including suspension or permanent removal from the Republican committee. So
okay,
there will be no dissension.
Not appealable to the body.
Right, nothing to the body. Right. This is all the, quote, executive committee, and that is the dangerous part of this because, as you said, the executive committee will serve at the will of the chairman.
Yes, at his pleasure is the wording.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're supposed to be a deliberate assembly that makes decisions. You can't do that with 2 speakers on a subject. It completely disregards what, in theory, like, we're modeled after a country, a constitutional republic. This would cease to be anything resembling our country structure. And we're all elected officials, by the way. We represent our districts. We were on a ballot. We're elected. 2 of us can talk per issue, and we can be thrown out without appeal to the body.
Yeah.
This is absurd.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like the Republican Party.
This is asinine.
Yeah. I have a committee member here saying, this is a longtime committee member saying, I want to tell you he is right talking about you. You are absolutely right. And I've got a couple of others. Mike says, I know Rozier, and this totally seems out of character. Not.
He presents well.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any world where he thinks acting like the sole proprietor of this committee is okay. I don't know what he's thinking, but his act, I've had to say, I'm not here to judge his intentions. I'm here to judge his actions.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see where this goes.
Keep us abreast to the legal challenges here.
I almost want to go to the next meeting. Do they allow just anybody to walk in? I am a registered Republican, but I'm not a committee member, so I guess I can't go.
It escapes me at the moment whether that's allowed. The chair can allow non-members by standard Robert's rules, but we don't do Robert's rules.
Yeah.
So if Rozier wants you there, I'm sure you could come.
I'm sure you're at the top of his list, Bill.
Here's the other part of this where I think the bylaws of removing elements, the Roberts rules, removing that, and this person as a committee member saying county rules cannot be in conflict with state party rules.
False.
Right?
False.
You say that's false.
Yes.
Okay.
They can't be in conflict with the law. They can be different. I talked with legal representation at the state, and he said that a lot of counties have witness signatures. The state doesn't. That was a phrase that Rozier kept saying, was that we're not compliant with the state, but he didn't specify which things aren't compliant or which ones just don't match.
Well, would you say what would you say the removal of Robert's rules would be?
They use Robert's rules. I haven't looked, and I don't know how much research it takes to see how many counties around here all say Robert's rules.
Yeah.
We might be the only one taking them out. Oh, and that vote passed. If they don't just change and I don't sue, Robert's rules is gone from Oneida County Republican Committee, and they removed all individual bylaws from all local committees could have their own bylaws. A few of them, like Rome and Utica, did. They deleted that. That was one of the other 74 changes. And that means everyone uses these rules. So every town just lost Robert's rules, a lot of them against their will. But if the chair just decides to act like they exist, they can. But the entirety of the county, all of our local committees lost Robert's rules due to this.
Yeah. Here's a committee member. Ken is in direct violation of New York State election law with his new bylaws. Another committee member saying the doubling down that the county rules cannot be in conflict with state party rules. There may certainly be exceptions to that, but I'm just telling you what they're saying. And then one more. Ken has excellent hearing, just poor listening skills. Oh, Lordy. There's always got to be a little humor in there. I think it's important. Okay, Mr. Pickett, anything else that you would like to add?
Thanks for the little extension. I hope it was worth your time.
I think the extension was good. I do appreciate the extension. That definitely helped. So, all right. Well, good luck, and please keep us posted, and we'll have you back.
Yep, anytime.
All righty. That is Paul Pickett, Oneida County Republican Committee member. You want to comment?
Well, no, just I'd be curious to see what happens here, and I wonder how consequential it'll be as far as if he files a legal challenge and then what comes of that legal challenge. I think a lot of times people don't get too deep into the weeds, if you would say, with these community or local or county political committees. But it's
this went into the weeds, but was more interesting than normal weed conversations.
Yes, no, I agree. I agree.
say,
But it'd be interesting to see what happens here. And like you said, he claims it would be the only committee in the state without Robert's Rules of Order. So
right. Yeah. Okay, let me do a couple things. Let's start, Davey. Do you mind if I start with the weather? I'll do a quick weather forecast, and then we'll move on. Stand by. It's 7:17.
Next cold front on our doorstep, and temperatures will come down. A frosty morning coming up again on Thursday. Clouds giving way to sunshine today. Maybe a shower kind of lingering around somewhere early. 57 later. The wind will start to gust 20 to 25. Tonight, clear, down near freezing, so some frost tomorrow morning. North Country will be in the 20s. Sunshine later in the afternoon, 55. Cold morning Friday morning, then sun near 60 later. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Currently, we're cloudy and 48, but I think we should get a little, as he says, a little sunshine today. That'll be welcomed, I know. Explore Herkimer County. There's so much to do in the fall in Herkimer County. And by the way, I believe in Herkimer County, it was Herkimer and Little Falls this past Friday and Saturday, where the replica of that Erie Canal boat sailed through, and they had big celebrations. So there's always something to do. Recently, they had the Cheese Festival in Little Falls, which was enormous.
It's a huge hit.
It is a huge. Just that Main Street area is just packed with people. It's really incredible.
And a few weeks before that, they had the Garlic Festival.
And the Garlic Festival. So there's a lot to do. And then, as you go up into the North Country, this fall has just been so unbelievable when it comes to weather. And another weekend is coming where it looks like, although the temperatures will be a little cooler, it does look like more sunshine into the weekend. Maybe a little rain by Sunday. But right now, it looks for a great weekend in Herkimer County. For details, go to herkimercountyny.gov/events. herkimercountyny.gov/ that's ny.gov/events to see what's happening in Herkimer County. And I should say, I love the tagline, where history, commerce, and beauty collide. It's happening in Herkimer County. And then Falcon Clinic. Just yesterday, I was in with the procedure that is done at the Falcon Clinic, which is basically an adjustment, an osteopathic adjustment, where everything is aligned. Everything in your body is aligned so that you spend another month moving forward efficiently. And boy, that is just preemptive, but it does a tremendous job for me. I do it every month with Dr. Zielinski and Dr. Shomolewski at the Falcon Clinic. If you're a patient of the Falcon Clinic, you can call today and ask about that. It is an incredible procedure that I do not miss once a month. Now, they are in the process of hiring a new provider, a new physician, and expect to accept new patients before the end of the year. It's the Falcon Clinic, located in Washington Mills.
If you've been thinking about upgrading your vehicle before the winter hits, now is the time, because Kia's fall savings event is packed with amazing deals. Check this out. The all-new 2025 Kia K4 LXS gets up to 39 miles per gallon on the highway, and you can drive it for just $358 a month with nothing due at signing. If you need all-wheel drive for those upstate winters, the 2025 Kia Seltos S all-wheel drive is ready to roll. $388 a month, nothing due at signing, and sales tax is included there too. If you're looking for more space, the 2026 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive is only $398 a month with zero down, or move up to the 2026 Sorento S all-wheel drive, a 3-row SUV for the family, just $448 a month with $995 due at signing. And if you've been thinking about going electric, you can't miss this one. The 2024 Kia EV6 light long-range all-wheel drive is a $54,000 vehicle, and right now it's $438 a month with $995 due at signing. You can even go big with the 2025 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, another 3-row SUV, only $488 a month with $995 due. But don't wait, these offers end October 31st. Visit Destination Kia for more.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
The Joseph Michael Chubbuck Foundation presents Montana Smith and the Curse of the Golden Crocodile, a live mystery dinner theater experience with the Acme Mystery Company. Montana Smith has snatched the golden crocodile of the Amazon, and it's about to be unveiled at the Municipal Museum of Natural History. But everyone's been acting rather strangely. Could it be the dreaded curse of the golden crocodile?
Join the adventure Friday, October 24th at Harts Hill Inn in Whitesboro, New York. Enjoy a cocktail hour from 6 to 7 p.m., followed by a buffet dinner. Solve the mystery and make a difference. It's all to benefit cancer patients in financial need. Reservations are required. Register online at thejmcf.org under events or call 315-339-5993. Brought to you by Association for Vascular Access, CNY, MVHS, Core Vault Solutions, and the Oneida Health Roswell Park Cancer Center. Join us Friday, October 24th at Harts Hill Inn in Whitesboro.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're turning sweat into support with our Burpees for Boobies Challenge. Here's how it works. All month long, you pay $1 to nominate someone to do a burpee, and every dollar goes directly to breast cancer research. It's a fun way to get involved, call out your friends, and raise money for an incredible cause. And if you're new to Fit Body, don't forget, we're also offering 3 free sessions to help you get started. So stop in, join the fun, and let's make every burpee count together.
Hey, it's Polly from Big Frog 104 with the perfect solution for your manufactured or mobile home problems. John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. If you've had issues with your furnace, now is the time to think about replacing it. Don't wait until next winter. Your skirting around the home could have taken a little beating. John has skirting too. With energy costs continuing to rise and no relief in sight, you need to make sure your mobile or manufactured home is energy efficient. John has new doors and windows in stock as well. Find it all at John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I have a few comments. Do you want me to read some comments? Oh, Lord. This is Bill in Deerfield. If Rozier and Zecker are involved, the extremist word needs to be included. They're both nuts.
That's not fair.
Easy and Ilian. Ask your doctor friends about the environmental rash breakout in the local area. I guess I don't know anything about that.
What is it?
It's an environment rash, a rash breakout. Or outbreak is what they would, what I should say. Outbreak.
Beth, have you heard anything about
Big
this?
Honey
No,
says,
no.
Big Honey,
Me neither.
this is brutal this morning. I can't even stand to listen to it. All right. Well, my apologies.
Well, Robert's,
Trust me. It'll get nuts in a little while. It just always seems to happen.
Robert's Rules of Orders. We're going to have, who was it? Big Honey?
Big Honey. Yeah.
He's going to get out of here. And if he doesn't leave, we're going to escort him out.
By the way,
Smitty, walk him to his car. Help him to his car.
By the way, Mike says you forgot to mention the third violation of revised rules, amputation of your arm if you break the rules. Your arm gets cut off. Your hand is cut off.
Okay.
This list of rules. And I guess that's... let me go over to YouTube because that's where they really get nuts. YouTube has actually been a little quiet as of late.
I noticed that.
And somebody has said, quiet. The numbers are still there, but the comments are not. So I don't know what has happened because QAnon, is it QAnon Bob? Is that his name? He was still there yesterday. I don't see him. And then somebody asked about where's Deeds in New Hartford.
Where is he?
I don't know. I have a hard time keeping track of everybody. We have a checklist. We go through it every morning, and if you're not there, we come and knock on your door. So,
yes, come and knock on your door.
By the way, yesterday, Manaski was officially signed as the official permanent news person here on WIBX.
Woohoo!
So I was hoping for a contract extension to be the right fielder for the New York Mets.
Yes,
unfortunately,
which made
this is what was available.
So we're your number 2. You're telling us.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think I'm their number
you're
two.
looking at only 1% of Soto's salary, and that would have done it. But anyway, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Let me go to Roseanne Laparco. She is a master gardener with Cornell Cooperative Extension. And Roseanne, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Terrible. Just terrible.
Bring us back down to earth, Roseanne.
Listen. I want to tell you that I got to do a little plant talk here. So I do, and I have a few very important questions, and I don't want to be piggish and steal all the questions, but here I go. So last week when it was about to get cold, we had the frost warning and a freeze warning. It went down to about probably 29, 28 degrees last week.
Right.
So I went out and I covered everything up. I covered those cucumbers, which were still growing, by the way. I covered the basil. I covered a couple of other things and the tomatoes. And I learned something, and you tell me if I am wrong, that cucumbers cannot handle cold weather and basil cannot handle cold weather. Tomatoes are hardier than basil and cucumbers, and that's all I have right now. Do you agree with that? Because I lost the basil, even covered, and I lost the cucumbers.
Yeah, it's true. There's actually a difference between a frost and a freeze.
Yeah.
There's obviously the temperature difference. You have a frost advisory when your temperatures are going to hover between, say, 32 and 35. But then you get a frost, or a freeze rather, when they dip below 32 degrees. And that's even when you cover some plants, for example, the basil, and for example, the cucumbers. They can't even, what happens is even covering them actually produces, there's moisture inside, depending on what cover you use, that it actually will still damage the plants when it goes below 32. So it's really a temperature moisture thing. And the two differences, like say a frost and a freeze, the amount of moisture that's in the air is different too. And so the plants react differently. So unfortunately, the only thing you had to do, especially with basil, would have been if you had it in a pot to bring it inside. Because it just can't handle it.
Okay, so tonight we're going to get some really cold. It'll be a freeze warning tonight.
And tomorrow night.
And tomorrow night. So anything that you want to save, you better bring in. But I wanted to ask you, so tomatoes, I'm going to pick the green tomatoes. And and can you pickle them? So there's a way to pickle cucumbers where you don't have to do the whole canning process, and you just store it in the refrigerator. Can you do the same with green tomatoes?
I believe you can. I'm not I'm not a pickling or canning expert myself, but you can.
I just don't want to get botulism or anything like that and feed botulism to my family.
But there is a process to doing it correctly so that you make sure you don't.
I'll look out.
What
I'll
I
look
can
into that.
suggest, Bill, is you'd be more than welcome. We have a garden hotline and we have a garden email address where you can send or call in your garden questions. So, for example, you could send in your questions by calling 315-736-3394. Then you press 1, and it's extension 333, or do home and garden at cornell.edu.
I did not know you could do that. That's pretty awesome.
And somebody will answer your garden questions, and even if this is more into the canning area, somebody will be able to answer your questions for you.
All right, and then I have one more gardening question. So last year, my wife was making a like this display on the front porch. She does it every year, and depending on the season. So I got her two little, I don't know what kind of evergreens they are, but they were all, I think we picked them up at Lowe's. They were decorated and had a little red ribbon on them. And she said, okay, that'll be perfect to put out in this display. And anyway, she said, throw them out. It was springtime. Throw them out. It's spring. They're dead. And I'm like, I don't think they're dead. It was just starting to become spring. So I took them away and put them around the side of the house and watered them. and they're perfectly fine. They're alive as can be. Now I have them for the second year, and we haven't planted them. I don't know where I want to plant them, but I'm going to. So she is asking, can we use them again as her Christmas display? And how do I keep them alive so I can bring them back to life in the spring?
She wants to put them back in a pot. And
They're already in the same pot that they were in.
Yeah, absolutely. They are very nice to do for decorating because they're easy to overwinter. You can do one of two things. Since they're in a pot, I would not leave the pot outside where it can be subject to snow in the wintertime or excess moisture, because what will happen is that'll freeze in the pot, and then that freeze-thaw cycle will cause too much moisture to stay in the pot.
So now, so I should stop watering them right now. I shouldn't be watering them.
It should make sure, let them dry out a little bit between waterings, but definitely water them, but keep them either inside a shed or in an unheated garage or somewhere where the pot can be protected, like if you have an overhang outside. And then you are going to have to check the moisture from time to time. The big deal is not to have that pot exposed to the elements in the wintertime. It's not like having that tree in the ground.
Right.
But if you take care of it, I mean, what I would do is, have dry out between waterings, protected spot so the pot doesn't get excess moisture. Keep an eye on the moisture in the wintertime, and then come spring, you could put it in a wherever you want to put it
pot or whatever.
In the sun and use it again.
All right.
But they're meant to be saved, and so no, I wouldn't throw them away. I would definitely, and as they mature, you may, worst case, you may have to transplant in a bigger pot. You'll know because you'll start seeing some yellowing that the root ball may need a bigger pot.
Well, I'm hoping these will become really bushy so I can't see my neighbor. That's what I'm hoping for. So
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, there's your posted sign right there. That's what I kind of call it, my little posted evergreen tree. Well, let's see what happens. Anything else? Anybody have any other biggies? Anything you want to leave us with today? I kind of consumed the whole thing, Roseanne. I'm sorry.
Well, I think there's something that I want to leave everybody with. Everybody has this false sense of security that we had one day of rain. For trees and shrubs, things like roses or hydrangeas, this really isn't enough rain to get them ready for winter. And so you're going to have to pay attention to the weather or provide some supplemental water because they're going to need that moisture over the winter. Once the ground freezes, whatever's up into the shrub or into the rose, that's what they have to protect them from wind damage. You've probably seen in the spring some evergreens that look all brown on one side. That's what's called winter burn, and what's happened to those evergreens is that they didn't have enough water to absorb so that they can be protected against the wind. And what's bad about winter damage is that it's permanent. It won't grow out. You can prune it, but it's obviously not going to look very nice. So we are still in a drought situation, and so you really need to make sure, especially if you planted a new shrub or a new tree or a new rose or a new hydrangea, make sure you're giving it some supplemental water.
All right.
They really need about an inch of water a week.
Wow. Well, we certainly haven't had that. Holy moly.
No, we haven't. And I think it rained, we're fine. I mean, the lawn's bounced back. I mean, I think my lawn is finally going to be able to be cut this week. So the water is the one thing that I want to leave everybody with is that these plants, especially the ones I listed, like the other ones that are susceptible are holly or boxwood. You need to keep those watered.
All right. Good stuff there, Roseanne, as always. And we appreciate your time and have a wonderful week.
And like us, get on the website that I mentioned, cceoneida.com. Like us on Facebook or Instagram. We're getting ready to plan our classes for next year. And so once you like us on Facebook, when we have the dates finalized, you'll find out about it through Facebook.
All right. Good stuff. Roseanne Leparco, have a wonderful rest of the week. Master Gardener with Cornell Cooperative Extension. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Thanks. She knows her stuff.
Yes,
by the
she
way,
does.
the public market, Beth does each and every week. The county public market is now inside at the train station.
Yes, we are. We take
every
over the
Saturday.
main library every
Yeah.
Saturday, 9 to 1.
All right, a lot of great stuff in there.
Yeah.
Still, many things. You'll go all year long.
Yep.
But there's still a lot of great stuff you can get for.
And a lot of things that are still summer related. We actually had vendors last week who still had some sweet corn.
Nice.
Now we are at the tail end of it.
Yeah,
but
get it while you can.
get it while you can.
Okay. Coming up, Hobica's free money question of the day. Today, Davey, the amount of money we're looking at is worth how much money you're looking at?
$200.
$200. Oh, I'm not going to mess with you today. $200. You're looking for caller number what?
Caller number 5.
Fifth caller number 5. Right now, your chance to win $200 at 315-736-0186. It's your chance from Hobica and WIBX.
Whatever you need to haul, landscaping tools, heavy construction gear, or even livestock, Clinton Tractor has the trailer for the job. Choose steel, aluminum, or galvanized frames from 500 pounds to 55 tons with trusted names like B-Wise, Eager Beaver, and EB. For trailers, parts, and service you can count on, visit the Caledona family at Clinton Tractor.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Judge Pat Kilmartin, current civil and criminal trial judge and attorney in private practice, former Onondaga County prosecutor and county attorney, decades of real courtroom experience. Judge Pat Kilmartin, past county legislator and longtime youth basketball coach, active parish member and volunteer for the Diocese of Syracuse, engaged in our community. Judge Pat Kilmartin, husband, father, coach, friend, committed to fairness, integrity, and the rule of law.
I'm Judge Pat Kilmartin. Growing up, I learned the value of public service from my mom, a public school educator, and my dad, a court attendant for Onondaga County Court. The countless hours I spent following my dad down courthouse halls started me on my path to becoming a lawyer, a prosecutor, and a judge. Everything I've done professionally since then has prepared me to extend that service to New York State Supreme Court.
Elect Judge Pat Kilmartin to State Supreme Court. Paid for by Judge Kilmartin for Supreme Court.
If you've been thinking about upgrading your vehicle before the winter hits, now is the time because Kia's fall savings event is packed with amazing deals. Check this out. The all-new 2025 Kia K4 LXS gets up to 39 miles per gallon on the highway, and you can drive it for just $358 a month with nothing due at signing. If you need all-wheel drive for those upstate winters, the 2025 Kia Seltos S all-wheel drive is ready to roll. $388 a month, nothing due at signing, and sales tax is included there too. If you're looking for more space, the 2026 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive is only $398 a month with zero down, or move up to the 2026 Sorento S all-wheel drive, a 3-row SUV for the family, just $448 a month with $995 due at signing. And if you've been thinking about going electric, you can't miss this one. The 2024 Kia EV6 light long-range all-wheel drive is a $54,000 vehicle, and right now it's $438 a month with $995 due at signing. You can even go big with the 2025 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, another 3-row SUV, only $488 a month with $995 due. But don't wait, these offers end October 31st. Visit Destination Kia for more.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
When it comes to the ones we love, their comfort and dignity matter most. That is why Hospice and Palliative Care is here for you. When you want your loved ones' wishes to be honored, when you want them to be comfortable, safe, and secure, and when you want them to be wherever they call home, Hospice and Palliative Care is the right choice. Our team of professional doctors, nurses, social workers, and bereavement counselors are dedicated to providing compassionate care every step of the way. At Hospice, your loved one is not alone, and neither are you. We are just a phone call away, ready to support you through this journey. Choose Hospice and Palliative Care, serving Oneida, Herkimer, and Eastern Madison County for the comfort and dignity your loved ones deserve. For more information, visit our website, hospicecareinc.org, or call us today at 315-735-6484. Hospice and Palliative Care, Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford, serving Oneida, Herkimer, and Eastern Madison counties.
When you need us most.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Just like
the Stanley Theater proudly presents Live Dead and Brothers Fall Truckin' 2025 on Wednesday, November 19th at 7:30. Live Dead and Brothers is made up of actual and legacy members of the Grateful Dead and the Allman Brothers. Come witness the raw energy and soul-stirring melodies that defined an era. Get your tickets at thestanley.org, ticketmaster.com, or call 315-724-4000. Live Dead and Brothers, November 19th at the Stanley Theater.
Next cold front on our doorstep, and temperatures will come down. A frosty morning coming up again on Thursday. Clouds giving way to sunshine today. Maybe a shower kind of lingering around somewhere early. 57 later. The wind will start to gust 20 to 25. Tonight, clear, down near freezing, so some frost tomorrow morning. North Country will be in the 20s. Sunshine later in the afternoon, 55. Cold morning Friday morning, then sun near 60 later. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have clouds and 48 currently. And I want to tell you about River Hills Properties, and it's from the very beginning that you decide you'll list your home with River Hills. You've added a team to your project. And selling a home is not any little project. Having experienced team members to assist you, your listing agent is enormous. And they're with you from start to finish, from the very beginning till the end. And that could mean your appraisal, the inspection process. Very important to have your listing agent there for the inspection. And every time that house is shown, if this is what you want, your listing agent is there every single time to help walk people through, give them the positives, the things that are important to you that they know about your home, and some great selling points. It's service-oriented. Everything is about making your life easier when it comes to selling a home. They have offices all over, Barneveld, Little Falls, and Copenhagen to the north, in Utica, in Newport with Mark Butler, and, of course, coming soon to Rome. And yes, on the Gulf Coast of Florida, Sarasota, Naples, Marco Island. It's River Hills Properties, LLC.com online, or call them today at 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. Time for Hobaikas, by the way. Somebody with a question. Bobo in Frankfurt. Will mums survive the frost or freeze? And I'm going to throw this to Beth on this one.
I'm going to preempt my answer with I am not a master gardener.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I believe they will survive a frost if you cover them. I don't think
Should
you have
cover
any.
them.
You should cover them. Yeah.
And cover them really well if it's a freeze.
Well, and I don't know if they would even survive as a freeze
Yeah.
because the blossoms of a plant have much more delicate cell structure than the actual the parent plant. So it would be hard to get a blossom to survive a
Right.
freeze.
There you go. There's you, and I didn't see that before we got rid of Roseanne. So Beth is your next best source.
I'm a backup.
The backup source.
I'm the B team.
And I do want to say a happy birthday to my mom today, who is 81 years old today.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Now, I'm 75, so you do the math. No, I'm not 75. I just look it. I feel it. Larry, good morning. How are you, Larry in Utica?
Good. I'm good. I am 75.
You are. Listen, that's the closer I get to those days, the more I say, that's young. That's really young.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of it as being too young, but that's the way it goes.
It's the way it goes. All right. Well, listen, here we go with your question. You know the deal. It's from the Hobeika Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Hobeika on the line is $200 this morning. And the law firm, by the way, of Hobeika, Andrew and Joseph, call 315-724-1600 for your legal needs. You know you have 7 seconds to answer this one.
I do.
Okay, and here we go. Here's your question. One of my favorites, and the question is, Haagen-Dazs ice cream was developed in what country? Ready, go.
Holland.
Was Haagen-Dazs developed in Holland? You're going to hate yourself over this. But Haagen-Dazs is like pizza. American pizza is developed in the United States.
Oh.
Yeah,
ouch.
it's a big faker.
Like apple pie and baseball.
That's exactly right. That's right. Yeah, Haagen-Dazs is a U.S. product. I did not know that. You live and learn. All right, Larry. We're going to give you, we have tickets to the craft fair coming up at Herkimer County Community College, which will happen, Davey, in a couple of weeks. And we'll give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card. Good at the Comets games, at 72 Tavern and Grill, Babes, Aquavino, Taylor and the Cook, and the list goes on.
You can get ice cream at Cookies, right?
You could get ice cream at Cookies, or you could buy, put it towards a shirt at the gift shop. At the,
Put a down payment on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, stand by, Larry. Thank you, man.
All right, thank you.
And happy birthday whenever it comes up.
Thanks.
Okay, all right. All right, there you go. Pretty wild. Haagen-Dazs.
What's your favorite flavor?
So I think they are one of the great vanillas.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, I'm a chocolate ice cream fan, but for some reason, whenever I get a Haagen-Dazs, my favorite flavor is the bar that has chocolate. You know, they have the bars. I love those Haagen-Dazs
Oh,
bars.
yeah.
So, but they say that the ice cream is never good if the water isn't good, which allows me to transition into Pat Bescher. Good morning.
There you go.
Good to see you again.
Smooth, huh?
A weak attempt, but
I thought the best transition would have been from your last guest who talked about not having enough water going into the winter.
That is true. Yeah, make sure
I thought she was talking about the drinking.
Did you see an influx in water being used this year? Because people, if you didn't water your lawns or your plants and stuff like that, it just didn't get water.
I've always thought there should be a law that says you can't let your grass go brown.
Yeah, I know.
You should water it, but no, we didn't really see much of an uptick. And I think part of that is because people don't wash our cars as often and things like that.
Right.
But usage was steady. We're projecting it to be steady next year. It's not dropping. It's not increasing. It's holding about the same. But the problem with the reservoir, as we all know, is it's been so dry.
Yeah. Have you guys finally allowed the people that are starting that car wash at the old Zeb's to have water? Because they've been trying to open for 8 years now. And there's a sign up now. And I know it's not because of you.
No, it's not us.
But do they have water over there? I think they do.
I really don't know. I can find out and let you know. But off the top of my head,
it has been.
They've been hiring people for a year and a half, and now there's a sign up, and it looks like it's ready to go. But that is the longest opening of a car wash I've ever seen in my life. Okay. Here's the other question before we get into the potential rate situation.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen whether it's Hinckley or the low water levels. We have had a really serious problem when it comes to water. How does that affect you?
Well, so far we're not having any operational problems, but if it drops another 5 or 6 feet, we're going to be very, very nervous, especially this time of year going into winter.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd like to see it come up 10 or 12 feet before we really get into that deep freeze. The problem is in the watershed area that contributes to Hinckley Reservoir, it all freezes in the wintertime.
Right.
Then the inflow, gets reduced to a trickle. So the reservoir itself has to last all winter long. and we don't really want to see at this level going into the winter.
Yeah,
We're going to have a real tough time. All we need is a little bit of fall rain, the usual amount, and it should come back up because it's pretty resilient. 2 inches of rain, steady rain, a good 2-3 day soaker should bring it up substantially.
So how about the fact that we got I thought it was pretty good steady rain that we had a few days ago.
We did.
But it lasted a day, and we're in for another stretch of dry weather.
And the reservoir came up about an inch.
Came up wow.
About an inch.
Wow.
Not quite the 10 feet that we're looking for.
Yeah.
But at least it prolongs the point where we're going to run into trouble.
How does that affect? I mean, you currently have a draw that's going to be different and much more need. You have Chobani going in. It looks like Wolf Speed is beginning to ramp things back up. Are we able to handle that plus any future and supply water to everybody when you have a year like this?
Well, Chobani's going to be on a roam system, so that's not going to affect us.
Okay.
It is good to see that Wolf Speed emerged from their reorganization, and they are still producing, and we're encouraged that their use will go up. In a normal year, everything is fine. There's plenty of excess capacity. It's just right now it's been a little bit tight.
Yeah.
The good news is that the state agencies, the DEC, the Health Department, the Canal Corporation, have all been very cooperative in trying to protect the drinking supply. So for 2 months or so, we've been doing weekly conference calls. They've been making gradual cutbacks. Right now, they're letting out the minimum amount that they can by law to feed the lower creek to protect the trout habitat. But they're releasing an absolute minimum. So it's dropping more slowly than it was earlier in the summer.
Okay. All right.
What feeds Hinckley? Is there anything that feeds it, and can they increase the flows to it?
The upper West Canada Creek, a number of tributaries into Black Creek all flow into Hinckley Reservoir. But again, it's been so dry in the watershed that even when we get the kind of rain we had last week, most of it gets absorbed into the ground before it even gets to the reservoir.
Yeah.
So we need a couple of days of rain.
We certainly do, and it's not currently in the forecast. So there's a public rate hearing that is coming up on Monday. We're talking about a rate increase. What does that mean for people?
Very nominal rate increase. Well, we say nominal, and nobody likes any rate increase at all. But at 2%, it's about $9.50 a year, which equates to about 80 cents a month. Hopefully, it's not going to be painful for many people, but it's just necessary because our fuel costs go up, our energy costs go up, our payment to the state retirement system is going up $150,000. We're going to get a little bit less interest earnings on some reserve funds that we've drawn down to do projects. So all these things add up to, unfortunately needing just a modest increase in our budget. We've been able to make a lot of cuts to, offset it. It could have been larger, but we tighten our belt wherever we can, and we find ways to keep the rate increase as low as we can.
What are things you can cut?
Well, we postponed, for example, a couple of vehicle purchases this year. We were going to get a couple new trucks and decided that we could squeeze another year out of the ones that we currently have. The risk there is that the repair costs will start to go up if you keep them too long. But we postponed some spending. We delayed a couple of projects, just maintenance projects that we want to do. But, we try to find that right balance between maintaining the system adequately for current and future users and trying to keep the rates as affordable as we can. So it's always a compromise.
Now you're going to have a public hearing on this proposed increase?
That is Monday at 5, right?
Yep, Monday the 20th at 5 o'clock in Utica City Hall in the Common Council chambers on the first floor. It's an opportunity for the public to come in and voice their opinion on, how they feel about things, particularly with the rates, obviously. And then that feedback goes back to our board. And a week later at our monthly board meeting on the 27th, the board will then vote on a rate increase. Right now it's proposed at 2%. If they hear something compelling, obviously they could change course if they decide to do that.
What is Dave? You got line one. What is the reason for the increase? What?
Well, there are a few drivers. As I mentioned, we're going to be looking at a little bit lower interest earnings on some of our reserve funds. Our payment to the state retirement system is going up a bit. Our liability insurance is going up a bit. Our fuel costs have been fairly stable, but they're still pretty high. And so it's just a lot of small things, that everybody sees in their everyday life of costs going up. The same thing hits us.
Okay.
I hate to be dismissive, but and it's 2%, and you said it's about 80 cents a month for the average household, but nobody will come to this hearing, and it will be approved. Am I wrong?
Well, nobody has a crystal ball, Jeff.
Well,
nobody has a crystal ball.
Did I mention
you've done this before, though?
Did I mention it's not Monday at 5 p.m.? The hearing is at 5 a.m.
No, we wouldn't do that to anybody.
Yeah.
I will say though, when you look at the cost of water and what you get, for a couple $100s a year versus $200 a month for your cell phone bill. Electric costs right now are forecast to go up substantially, hundreds of dollars a year for electric and heating costs, 80 cents a month for water. We think is still a pretty good bargain.
I agree with you. And I don't want to just say, hey, it's only 80 cents and everything should go up, because everything does go up. But nobody will come and it will be approved.
Okay.
I appreciate your confidence.
Jeffy Downer, they call him.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
Mr. Realistic.
How many people usually come to these hearings?
How many people go to Met games in the World Series?
Listen.
That's all right. But the Yankees
That wasn't a criticism.
The Yankees barely did any better.
And he cut you right out.
Look, Pat, I think you misunderstood.
Sorry, Jeff. I couldn't resist.
Knocking you or
And
the
that,
authority.
to the listening public, was the gauntlet being thrown down.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to get smacked for that one.
Nobody's going to show up and complain for 80 cents a month.
The Water Authority public hearing is 5 p.m. on Monday, and please come out and show Manaski that he is wrong. So.
I will let you know personally, Jeff, how many people are there.
All right, Pat,
Let's
thank
go,
you.
Mets.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks so much. Thanks.
Yep.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
Getting Hamas to keep complying with the Gaza ceasefire agreement. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
They will disarm, and if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. And it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently.
President Trump issued that warning to lay down their weapons as Israel still awaits more dead hostage remains. Hamas is obligated to return.
The bodies of 3 additional hostages were released by Hamas. The total that remain inside Gaza stands at 21.
Fox's Trey Yingst also reports from Tel Aviv.
There's also an incredibly dangerous environment for Palestinian civilians as Hamas has executed a number of people accused of stealing aid and working with Israel.
As Russia keeps waging war in Ukraine and the U.S. keeps considering sending advanced Tomahawk missiles to help Ukraine in the fight, Russia says that would be a serious escalation. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is at NATO headquarters in Brussels before President Trump's Friday meeting with Ukraine's President Zelensky.
Secretary Hegseth told reporters he expects other nations to invest more in a new arms initiative.
You get peace when you are strong, not when you use strong words or wag your finger. You get it when you have strong and real capabilities that adversaries respect.
The initiative is called PEARL, the Prioritized Ukraine Requirements List. It allows Ukraine to request American weapons and get them delivered fast.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. There have been more clashes over immigration raids in Chicago. Protesters threw rocks at agents who used tear gas on them, while in Los Angeles County, California, a state of emergency declared.
Calling for more state and federal assistance. That can open up everything from rent relief to legal aid as immigration enforcement actions continue. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, responded saying this: the only state of emergency is the one that residents of Los Angeles face after electing officials who give a middle finger to the law.
Fox's Doug Luzader. The Supreme Court will take up a voting rights case this morning, considering for a second time congressional redistricting in Louisiana. America's listening to Fox News.
I used to stand in the paint aisle staring at all those products and wondering which one actually worked. I wasted so much money on things that didn't help. Then I tried Blue Stop, and let me tell you, it works. It soothes my sore joints and stiff muscles fast, absorbs quickly, and even smells great. Millions of people already trust Blue Stop, and now I do too. No prescription, no waiting. It's on the shelf right now at Walmart. If you want real relief, choose Blue Stop and feel the difference. Blue Stop at Walmart today.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
6 foreign nationals will have to leave the U.S. after the State Department revoked their visas over social media posts making light of or even celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination, and that action was taken the same day President Trump paid tribute to the conservative leader with the nation's highest civilian honor.
President Trump remembered Charlie Kirk as a fearless warrior of liberty who galvanized the next generation.
We're entering his name forever into the eternal roster of true American heroes. He's a true American hero, an amazing person.
The president posthumously awarded Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom on what would have been his 32nd birthday. Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, accepted the medal.
And he used to say, freedom is the ability to do what is right without fear. And that's how he lived.
Kirk was assassinated last month during a campus event in Utah. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
It is day 15 of the government shutdown, keeping hundreds of thousands of federal workers off the job. Those deemed essential keep working.
Kudos to President Trump and others that are saying we're going to try and find ways within our authority to fund the troops and fund our federal law enforcement officers.
That's Republican Senator Ashley Moody after another vote in the Senate failed to end the stalemate over funding between Republicans and Democrats. On Wall Street, stocks could rise this morning. Dow and NASDAQ futures are both up about 200 points. In the baseball playoffs, a star pitcher shines.
And a swing and a miss, and Yoshi Yamamoto with his crown jewel as a Dodger.
He threw the first complete game in the postseason in 8 years, pitching the LA Dodgers to a 5-1 win over the Milwaukee Brewers on TBS, and that gives the defending champion Dodgers a 2-0 lead in the National League Championship Series. Tonight, the ALCS resumes. Seattle also up 2-0 on Toronto. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Mostly cloudy skies, 48 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. Closing arguments will come today in the murder trial of those 3 former corrections officers from Marcy Correctional Facility. The prosecution resting its case on Tuesday against Nicholas Keeler, David Kingsley, and Matthew Gallagher. The defense also decided to wrap up its case as well without presenting evidence or calling any witnesses. All 3 men allegedly involved in the beating death of inmate Robert Brooks last December. If convicted, they each face a maximum sentence of 25 years to life in prison. The Mohawk Valley Water Authority will be holding a public hearing on a proposed water rate increase. That proposed hike is 2%. Executive Director Pat Bescher says that amounts to about 80 cents per month for the average household. That public hearing is being held at 5 o'clock on Monday at the Mohawk Valley Water Authority offices. The hearing will be held in the Common Council chambers at Utica City Hall. A video of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is not being shown at Syracuse Hancock International Airport nor at Albany International. The video has been posted at TSA checkpoints nationwide and features Noem blaming Democrats for triggering a federal government shutdown that has dragged on for 2 weeks and led to some issues at those airports. Officials with the Syracuse airport have not commented publicly on their decision not to show the video. TSA employees at the airport there have stayed on the job, and there have been no mass sick call-outs since the shutdown began.
We should not be surprised, right? There are arguments in airports over CNN or Fox News being played on the TVs. So that's where we are today. So you can only imagine that somebody was going to have a problem with that. So,
yeah, everybody seems to have a problem with everything.
That is true.
This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Here's a look at your forecast from the Weather Channel.
Next cold front on our doorstep, and temperatures will come down. A frosty morning coming up again on Thursday. Clouds giving way to sunshine today. Maybe a shower kind of lingering around somewhere early. 57 later. The wind will start to gust 20 to 25. Tonight, clear, down near freezing, so some frost tomorrow morning. North Country will be in the 20s. Sunshine later in the afternoon, 55. Cold morning Friday morning, then sun near 60 later. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, mostly cloudy and 48 at 8:07.
Turn my mic on. Thank you. Thank you, Bill, for turning my mic on. Thank you, Johnny. Goes back to an old Turning Stone show. There was a Sinatra performer. Me and Andrew were at the, and he said, "Can you turn that mic down just a little bit, please? Turn it down. Now, thank you. And you watched him turn it down. I mean, he was the guy. Thank you very much, Julie, John.
He was his own Johnny.
I don't know anything about any of this. And I just asked Davey when we're going to have Jeremy Rosenthal on, or maybe, it's Frank Policelli we ought to get. I would love to get his opinion on this. We're watching this trial this week, and it seems like it's coming to a close. We're watching this trial on the corrections officers, and it's difficult. And now they have corrections officers who were there who have cut deals, and they're testifying against the officers that are currently on trial. But I got to ask your thoughts, both of you guys. I don't know that I would ever want to leave this in the hands of a jury. I think you would be, and maybe the deal was so bad, they're like, what do I have to lose?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, you could do life. These guys could do life in prison. And I'm wondering, as I watch this trial and see the testimony coming out, I just wonder, wouldn't it have been better to cut a deal?
Well, I think that's a fair point that you bring up. And especially when you know
the testimony is really bad.
Others allegedly involved have cut their own deals, and they're not going to be testifying for you.
They're going to be testifying against you.
Right. So,
and they're going to be saying, like the one witness yesterday was talking about what he saw and what was done.
Yeah.
And how ashamed he is of what he did and wishes he could change it or didn't do.
Yep. Yeah.
And to just see you're now presenting this in front of a jury, you're really gambling with your life at this point.
Yeah.
Beth, your thoughts on it?
I mean, my first thought is body cams, dude. You guys were wearing body
videos
cams.
there. The
how are you going to argue
there.
with that?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just. I mean, I haven't been following it. I've been catching the snippets that are on the news.
Yeah.
I try not to concentrate on things like that. Unfortunately, I'm very
to
aware
watch.
that those things happen. But I think there's a point of no return that a number of people have reached, and they're just going to be at the mercy of.
You're going to be at the mercy of this jury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to say it this way, and I haven't heard any reporting on this.
It is a jury trial, right? I've not followed that closely. I believe it's a jury trial.
That is my understanding.
Yeah.
So, and again, I don't want to make it sound like this justifies it, but ever since it happened, I've wondered to myself what prompted whatever unfolded. You know what I mean? I mean, those prisoners
testimony yesterday was that the inmate didn't do anything to prompt it.
That was stated under oath.
So still, what prompted it?
Yeah, like and again, it doesn't offer any justification.
And that might have
but
come
there's
out.
so many
I'm sure that's come out in the trial.
Inmates in there, and what on that day, and again, it wasn't like one person had an interaction with one person. It was allegedly a gang-style assault,
and I do believe that the person was in for something really bad.
Yeah.
So there was a really bad crime.
Yeah, but so is everybody else there, right?
Yeah. So and we cannot forget the fact that we're the ones in control. The the prison guards are in control and have to be held to a higher standard, despite the horrible things.
Absolutely.
There was just a case yesterday where
one got assaulted.
A CO was
Yeah.
assaulted.
Yep.
I mean, it's a very, very difficult and dangerous job.
Just saying, it's a dangerous environment on the best of days.
We have to, despite all of that, you have to be at your best. And I don't know. Davey, if you're out there, lines are ringing. I got to break. Let me break and bring in. I know you're going to do sports. Father, could you move a little closer to Beth? It's almost like being in a confessional.
Hello, how are you? How are you this morning?
Good. Sean
That
O'Brien.
almost gets
Nice
you
to
on
meet
camera.
you too.
SOB, Sean O'Brien.
Oh, is this the first time you've met?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in for a
it
treat.
is.
My mother was a barber, so I'm the son of a barber. SOB.
Okay, we'll
Sean
go with
O'Brien. That's right.
This is Romans are lucky. This is Father Sean O'Brien. Good morning.
Good morning, and happy birthday. I'll probably say it for the next 3 months.
Yes.
1925, WIBX, one of
Yes.
the first radio stations to broadcast.
That is true. We will be on the 5th of the... We're going to have you come in and bless the next
Studio.
100
Studio,
years.
bless the studio.
I noticed since you've been back, there's been cracks in the ceiling.
There
so,
have.
Yeah.
That's right. It's not good.
No.
It's just not good.
We try
and
not to mention
I
that.
thought you were going to wish my mom a happy 81st birthday.
This is your mother?
No.
Oh, she looks good
No.
for 81.
It's been hard. Been a long road.
Been a long road.
Today's your mother's birthday?
It is.
Well, happy birthday, Mrs. Keeler.
1944.
The same year as my mother, 44.
Is it really?
Oh, I shouldn't say that. My mother's listening.
Oh.
But she doesn't know what year she was born?
I'll get in trouble.
No, they don't.
It's been a state secret for all my life.
They don't want their ages out.
Yeah.
I get
probably
it.
shouldn't
Women
be-
are funny that way.
I
get it.
Probably shouldn't be doing it either.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to have a busy, really cool hour. I'm very excited because also coming in is Farmer Ben. We're going to bring him in.
Yes.
So.
Oh, and coffee, too. Davey,
And
you're the
coffee.
best.
So let me let Manaski do sports, and then we'll break here.
Thank you very much.
It is 8:14.
Yes,
WIBX.
and I'll go quick here, broadcasting from the IBEW 43 local sports desk. Just moving quickly, the Dodgers silenced the Brewers 5-1 your final last night as Los Angeles takes a 2-0 series lead.
You know, we all want Milwaukee to win this thing.
Yeah.
And we all know it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I was watching the game last night. There was a lot of Milwaukee fans almost literally sitting on their hands. The team struggled to get anybody on base. Yamamoto pitched. I don't know. What did he give up? One hit? He gave up one run. I know that. 5-1 was the final.
Is so good.
The ALCS resumes tonight with a crucial Game 3 in Seattle. The Mariners stole home field from the Blue Jays and hold a series lead there 2-0. What else did I want to mention? The Utica Comets are home on Friday night at the Adirondack Bank Center. The Utica University Pioneers are home on Saturday for an exhibition game Saturday night against SUNY Morrisville. And let's see, some roster moves for the Jets. The green and white released defensive lineman Leonard Taylor III, signing wide receiver Trenton Irwin to a practice squad deal. And they also released running back Avery Williams. A couple of Giants being recognized for their great play of late. Quarterback Jackson Dart and running back Cam Scatabo, both nominated for the Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week award. The Giants 2-4. They visit the Broncos coming up on Sunday afternoon.
Okay, I want to, by the way, one comment here on what we were just speaking about in regards to the trial. Mike says, wasn't there something said that the COs wanted to kind of set the tone for a new prisoner coming in from a different prison? Some sort of comment that this is a hands-on prison, meaning the COs are unafraid of laying their hands on an inmate. And a lot of stuff has come out of this trial. That's a little difficult to listen to. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, if you're looking for flooring, why would you go to a store that sells, barbecue grills or tools? Or this is a flooring store, and that's what they deal in. They have the largest selection of flooring. Sal makes sure that is the case. In Sarah's, they're the best when it comes to Pergo Extreme. They have the 60-mile radius price guarantee. They'll beat or meet anyone's price on flooring, period. And there's 6 months interest-free financing in that inventory. It is the largest selection you will find anywhere. It's in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy. Online, it's in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
Beautiful woodwork adds warmth and charm to any kitchen. But years of use can leave your cabinets worn and faded. When you call Enhance, we'll make your cabinets as good as new again in as little as 1 day for a lot less than you'd pay for traditional refinishing or replacements. Whether you want to renew your cabinet's original finish or completely change their color, just tell us the look you want and we'll help you get it. Or bring your hardwood floors back to life. With most Enhance renewals, you can use your floors again the same day. Plus, there's no mess, no dust, and no odors. Call Enhance today for a free in-home consultation. We'll explain the process, we'll show you how your cabinets or floors will look when we're done, and we promise you'll be really pleased with the price. And when you trust Enhance, you'll get the skilled workmanship and attention to detail we bring to every job. There's no obligation. Call us now at 738-1113. 738-1113.
Hi folks, this is Rob Hilton. Your family is your greatest treasure. Is your estate plan ready to protect them when it matters most? At Hilton Estate and Elder Law, we understand the importance of getting it right. That's why we offer a free review of your current plan. Together we'll assess it and provide honest feedback to ensure it truly works. No cost, no obligation, just confidence and peace of mind. Let's prepare for the future together. Schedule a free review today.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Take advantage of Mattress Express's guaranteed lowest price program. Bring in any locally advertised price on a mattress we carry, and we will beat the price. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're turning sweat into support with our Burpees for Boobies Challenge. Here's how it works. All month long, you pay $1 to nominate someone to do a burpee, and every dollar goes directly to breast cancer research. It's a fun way to get involved, call out your friends, and raise money for an incredible cause. And if you're new to Fit Body, don't forget, we're also offering 3 free sessions to help you get started. So stop in, join the fun, and let's make every burpee count together.
Hey, Central New York, this is Will Kane of The Will Kane Show, and you can now hear my show every weekday at WIBX. I do things a little differently when I'm behind the microphone because I turn it over to the listeners to learn and really dig into the issues that impact everyday Americans. The Will Kane Show lets you keep ahead of the headlines and understand what's really going on in the world with in-depth discussions from leading experts and the brightest minds. From politics to sports, nothing is off topic. Listen to The Will Kane Show weekdays at 6, only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
As they move microphones around here and move everybody around, yeah, Ben, you got to be... And Ben, you can look right over here at this monitor. It'll tell you, as you see that you're both in the shot. That's what I want.
Yes.
All right. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm trying to take care of you here.
Good thing the chairs are on wheels in here.
Mm-hmm. And Jeff, you need to move as tight to Beth as you can. Then we're all in, somehow all of us are on camera. Lead poisoning is a real problem in the area, and if there's a house that you know of in the Utica area, it's built before 1978, it's almost certain to have lead problems. Built before 1978. There's a program now called Lead Safe Utica. Go to leadfreemv.org or call 315-724-4197. Up to $30,000 per unit in HUD lead hazard reduction funding that is out there to assist. It's up to $30,000 per unit, and you could receive the help by calling 315-724-4197. 4197 is the number. Father Sean, pull that mic nice and close. Yep.
I'm drinking coffee and I'm drinking this homemade apple cider, and I don't think I'm going to make it home in one trip. I'm going to have to pull over somewhere.
And for different reasons, right? And this comes from
to let the dog get some exercise. Yeah.
The Clinton Cider Mill.
Yes.
And officially it comes from Ben. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill and everybody. How's everybody today?
Doing well. Have you met Father Sean? Do you know
I
Father?
have in the past.
Yeah.
Nice to see you again, Father Sean. And he's. I like his saying a little bit earlier. Do you want to do this together? How?
What's that?
Who feeds what?
Oh, that's right.
I'll
So
feed
Farmer Ben, we're both in the business of planting seed and helping it grow, right? He feeds people's stomach. I feed their soul.
I like that.
That's right.
I was intrigued with that, inspired.
Yeah. How is the? I know we wanted to talk to you about the government shutdown and how is it affecting farmers.
Yep. So it is affecting just a little bit, but not really bad. Right now, I know of a farmer that is applying for a first-time young farmer loan, first-time farmer trying to get into the business, and that loan process has stopped just because of the government shutdown.
Okay.
But as far as actually affecting the farmer out on the field that you see every day out there, the commercial farmer, right at this point in time, it really isn't affecting them too much because they did their early crop report on their acreage report early on after they got the crops planted. And now most all the farmers out there are in the middle of harvest. So when they get done harvesting, then you need to go back to your farm service agency and report the amount of yield you got in crops. So right now, as we speak, it really isn't affecting agriculture too much right now, really isn't. And your food inspections, which everybody's worried about, you know, the USDA inspects everything coming in on the ports and everything in your grocery stores and everything like that. Those people are essential workers. So those people have not been affected. They continue to get paid. They continue to do their job. So to answer your question, a long way around
there's more.
at this moment.
But first of all, you should ask Father,
yes, Father,
for some assistance in praying for some rain. That probably would help.
I work for God, not Mother Nature.
That's a good point.
But God controls all.
Important difference.
You betcha.
Because there are those people around the world that have been praying for rain for a long time.
Oh yeah,
and it has not come.
No, it's terrible. At Hinckley, there you can see not Hinckley. Which one? Delta.
Yeah.
If you walk down through Delta, and you have to be very careful because some of it can be mucky, get stuck, and so on. Not necessarily safe, but you can see layouts of the old town.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And they found a snowmobile. Yep. And when I went by the other day, some guys were down there with metal detectors.
They're finding all kinds of things.
Yeah. Because there used to be, before it was a reservoir, it used to be a town.
Yeah, Cannondale, Hinckley, Delta, they all got flooded.
Yeah.
You know.
The next thing I want to ask you, Farmer Ben, is these are all political. We're throwing you at the political fire. Okay. Is really two things. And I'm not sure how much it's affecting us down here, but I'm hearing from people at the north, in the north, where this conflict between the United States and Canada has affected us significantly. I wonder how it affects us here. And then the other part is speaking with a farmer the other day about the immigration issue, where these immigrants are needed on these farms, and there's a conflict there. So let's start with the Canadian issue.
So, well, it depends on which part you're talking about. Are you talking about the trade part of it, or are you talking the immigration coming across the northern border?
There are two topics. Topic number one is Canada.
Okay. Well, Canada, there's a lot going on.
And I know there is an immigration issue where people coming in through that northern part of the border,
that nobody really talks about. Yeah.
That no one ever wants to talk about. We can talk about that, too, afterwards. Okay. But these two issues that are government policy, how are they affecting farmers? And starting with the Canadian, this rivalry between the United States and Canada, and where Canadians are really promoting don't deal with America.
Yep, they are. They're very upset because there was some unfair trade. When Donald Trump was in the first time around, he kind of leveled the playing field out. And I want to talk about dairy for just a minute. Yeah. I'm very fluent with the dairy part. Canada has a quota system up there. And the milk price up there is very lucrative for them smaller dairy farms. That's why when you cross the border into Canada, it's all small family-type farms because they have a quota on those farms. But we, American farmers, could not push milk into the Canadian market, or we would get penalized really bad. And the tariff of that milk going across the border was huge.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons, for
Once
instance,
it reached a certain level, and that was to protect the Canadian farmers.
Correct.
Right.
So we weren't able to have access to their markets. But when Canada had too much milk, like a surplus, even though they had a quota, they have different times a year, they'd have a little surplus. They were able to sell that milk all along the northern part of the United States to milk plants at a reduced rate. And, of course, there's an exchange difference between our money and their money. And so right now, President Trump and the President of Canada got together, and Donald Trump kind of went back and reinforced his original agreement back a few years ago. And now we're pushing a little bit of our milk into Canada, which is suppressing them a little bit. So the way they're getting back at us is they're anti-America, do not buy American products. But at the end of the day, both sides need each other. We need Canada. Canada needs us because they have market share here also. So to be honest with you, right now there's a little tension there on the agriculture side, but it's nothing that's really hurting us. What's really hurting the American farmer right now, both on the corn and the dairy commodities, I should say all commodities, wheat, everything, is our dollar is so strong right now. Our economy is so strong that when the rest of the world, no matter who they are, comes here to buy our products, the dollars that they're spending overseas to come here isn't buying as much.
Right.
So our dollar is really strong. So it is suppressing our soybean prices and our corn. And I know there's a press release just recently that China has basically boycotted buying our soybeans and our corn, which has driven our price of our commodities down to the 1974 prices.
Wow.
And our expenses are 2025. But I want to make a prediction. What's going to happen is China and the world have boycotted America a little bit here because our dollar's so strong they can't buy it. And they're mad at us. They kind of
the dollar is strong,
very strong,
but the tariffs are strong as well,
Correct.
and that's what's really causing this.
And I want to make a prediction. I'm hoping you tell me I'm wrong when I come in a few months.
I would never tell you you're wrong.
But I'm hoping on this one that I think, or maybe you're going to say I'm right. I'm sorry. I'm hoping you come back. I come back and you say, Ben, you were right. I think China and the rest of the world is suppressing the price by boycotting us. When those prices of commodities get really, really low,
then they buy.
Target price, over like on a Friday afternoon, China and the rest of the world is going to call up the United States and going to order many, many millions and millions of tons of corn, wheat, soybeans, everything we have for commodities. And by Monday, the market won't be able to react back to that as quick because they placed the order and they bought it at that lower price. So it's a double-edged sword. But I can't foresee. The rest of the world cannot supply the amount of grain the United States. Remember, every time you get in an airplane, Bill, and I know you travel.
Especially, and let's talk about what is happening in Ukraine.
Correct.
That was the breadbasket of Europe and much of the world.
That is correct.
And it's just been
devastated.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, and once Ukraine comes back online, I'm hoping when Donald Trump settles this whole thing there, that definitely is going to affect the prices. But right now, what's affecting our farmers in the United States is the strong dollar is what's really doing it.
And then the issue of immigrants and working on farms. This is something farmers can't lose. These are people farmers can't lose.
Correct. And so what's really happening now is, as you're seeing on TV, the border's closed. There's no question. You hear it from even the migrants. We don't need to worry about the news or fake news. We can talk to the migrants that communicate with people back home. And the migrant population coming across the border that we've seen in the past in the previous administration is not happening. That is true. So what's happening now is anybody that gets in trouble or is targeted by ICE and Mr. Holm, I know I didn't say it quite right, but anyway, they're rounding them up and they're running scared, okay? But the problem is here in Oneida County, and I want to talk about the Mohawk Valley in Oneida County, is a lot of the migrant workers that are on our farms working every single day, okay, a lot of them did come across legally. They did it right. They went through the H-2A program. What has happened is on the farms now, I'm not talking about the city, but on the farms now is the H-2A program is not compliant to a migrant worker working on a farm anything longer than 6 months. So after 6 months, they have now all of a sudden became illegal. I want to refer that to like Kathy Hochul with our guns. We all had legal guns, and all of a sudden she passed a law, made us all illegal people to have a gun. It's the same way. So I don't want people to drive by farms and say, oh, we got to call ISIS or call the government because I saw a Mexican on a farm.
No, we shouldn't call ISIS, but ICE. I know where you're going with that.
I'm sorry. ICE.
Yes.
Excuse me. Thank you. I get excited.
You do. I'm just bringing it back.
Thank you. Bring me back down. But anyway, that's what's
ISIS,
really going on.
That'll be a mistake.
Yeah,
so,
my mistake.
So ultimately, and we've heard from farmers here, these are,
and they're worried.
They're worried.
They're
they're
really
lose
worried
these
now.
people. And Manaski.
Well, I just want to add, and we talked about this when you were in, I don't know, about a month or so ago. These are people who came here legally.
Yep.
They're not official U.S. citizens, but they did come legally. They've been processed. They're on payroll. They pay taxes.
Correct.
Their kids go to school here.
They pay it all.
Yeah, so they're like ingrained members of society, and they pay taxes, which is, I just want to underscore that.
They
I
pay
think
Social
that's
Security,
often
the
overlooked.
FICA, the withholding. They pay. If anybody thinks that migrant labor is cheap, you are totally misinformed and wrong. They do the work and they smile. But at the end of the week, when they get their paycheck, they are treated just as much as your neighbor down the road, an American citizen.
They're raked over the coals as much as your neighbor down the road.
Right, but they don't ever receive back the Social Security. They pay into the system, but they will never collect it back.
I do want to mention also that what ends up happening is we are like, government's going to fix this problem. We're going to be just fine. Don't worry. Keep working. Because sadly, these are jobs that they cannot find Americans who are willing to do these jobs. And that is a real problem. In fact, I'm not sure we can find Americans to do a lot of jobs these days. What happened to our workforce? I don't know. I want to bring in Father Sean.
Sure.
Now I know you don't go down.
I'm staying off of these two topics.
I know you don't get down the political road, but I do.
Well, I don't have the education really that in this area.
Well, I'll accept that. But I think you're being a member of the military. You've seen more than most of us.
Yeah.
I do want to say that the Pope has not kind of steered clear of it.
No.
He's kind of gotten involved a little bit with comments. So, and you're good with that. I mean, the Pope makes comments about everything that's going on in the world.
Well, I'm good with anything that has to do with human dignity and human rights.
Yeah.
I mean, every person deserves fair treatment and dignity. Right. Whether they're illegal or whether they were born, whatever the case is, we're all God's children.
Well, it was very interesting that physicians, a group of physicians, I don't know if it's an organized group or just a group that made a public statement, but basically said, we want to make it very clear, if a person comes into our emergency room, we're talking about money being spent on illegals. If a person comes into our emergency room and they need emergency care,
you give it.
We do not check their citizenship.
They're a person.
Who would?
They're
if
a person.
If you're driving down there, so you're on. Let's say you're off road, right? You're
Yes.
not on the highway. You're on a soft, what do you call it? A dirt road.
Right.
And you and the wife are out for a ride, and you see a fella who was on his bicycle, male or female person, on the bicycle has fallen and they have a broken leg. You're not going to ask, do you live here? Are you from this town? You help that person.
Yeah.
That's just human nature to help others.
Yeah. Are we getting away from that right now? Are you worried a little bit?
Well, I'm glad my steering wheel's made of plastic and not metal, or I would have bent it yesterday behind this person ahead of me when I was trying to get to the cemetery. So I've never had road rage, and I'd like to think I didn't yesterday, but
it was close.
I'm a person like anybody else, and I'll tell you, I had a hold of my steering wheel, like put new divots on the other side where the fingers go.
Like as well as I do, when you see a speed limit and there's a sign on the side of the road, when it says 40, they don't really mean 40.
No.
Oh, they do.
I did
They
75 miles. I hope there's no police officers listening. I coming down here because I was running a little late.
Yes.
I'm on 49, and me. I mean, I
do.
I am not. If Google Maps says it takes 2 hours and a half, I figure 3.
Yes.
That's the way I drive.
Yes.
But not today because I was running late, and I'm doing 75 miles an hour on Route 49.
Allegedly.
And people were passing. No, I was.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
alleged
All right.
about it. I
All
was.
right. Fair enough.
And by George, people were passing me like I was standing still.
I know.
So that's why I wasn't worried.
I mean, have you been on the throughway lately?
I don't take the throughway.
Well, I'll tell you.
I take Route 31 because there's more stuff for sale on the side of the road.
It's true.
So I always have the hitch on my truck and a couple bucks in my glove box.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
You never know.
You do never know.
No.
The gems that you can find along
I
the
found
highway.
a beautiful boat a couple years ago.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, we have Farmer Ben, Father Sean Manaski on his first official day back,
Yay.
and Beth Irons.
Congratulations on the news position.
This is a great group, and we'll come back. Any calls, any comments, any questions? 315-736-0186.
In life, we're often faced with difficult decisions. When it comes to caring for our loved one, the choice can be overwhelming. But amidst the uncertainties, there's one decision that stands out as an act of profound love and gratitude: choosing hospice care. Hospice care isn't just about medical support. It's about honoring the journey of those who've given their all to their families. It's about providing comfort, dignity, and peace in their final days, surrounded by loved ones. Choosing hospice is a way to give back to someone who has selflessly given their life to others. At Hospice and Palliative Care, we understand the weight of this choice. Our compassionate team is here to guide you through every step of the journey, providing personalized care that respects the individuality and dignity of your loved one. When it's time to say goodbye, choose hospice care. Choose love. Choose Hospice and Palliative Care, serving Oneida, Herkimer, and Eastern Madison counties. Visit our website, hospicecareinc.org, or call 315-735-6484.
When you need us most.
If you've been thinking about upgrading your vehicle before the winter hits, now is the time, because Kia's fall savings event is packed with amazing deals. Check this out. The all-new 2025 Kia K4 LXS gets up to 39 miles per gallon on the highway, and you can drive it for just $358 a month with nothing due at signing. If you need all-wheel drive for those upstate winters, the 2025 Kia Seltos S all-wheel drive is ready to roll. $388 a month, nothing due at signing, and sales tax is included there too. If you're looking for more space, the 2026 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive is only $398 a month with zero down, or move up to the 2026 Sorento S all-wheel drive, a 3-row SUV for the family, just $448 a month with $995 due at signing. And if you've been thinking about going electric, you can't miss this one. The 2024 Kia EV6 light long-range all-wheel drive is a $54,000 vehicle, and right now it's $438 a month with $995 due at signing. You can even go big with the 2025 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, another 3-row SUV, only $488 a month with $995 due. But don't wait, these offers end October 31st. Visit Destination Kia for more.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Next cold front on our doorstep, and temperatures will come down. A frosty morning coming up again on Thursday. Clouds giving way to sunshine today. Maybe a shower kind of lingering around somewhere early. 57 later. The wind will start to gust 20 to 25. Tonight clear, down near freezing, so some frost tomorrow morning. North Country will be in the 20s. Sunshine later in the afternoon, 55. Cold morning Friday morning, then sun near 60 later. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Couple things. Ricky Z at Steve Ponte Mazda. And if you're looking at a new vehicle, he has you covered as Mazda's transformed successful race-proven technology into a new Mazda. Save on new Mazda leases. How about a lease? Enjoy 2.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, 5s, all with a 1.9% APR finance rate. New 2025 Mazda CX-50s, 70s, and 90s See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. And as Rick says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. It's Deep Pawnee Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. And if you're having pain, think of the Good Feet Store. It's now open in New Hartford. Free fitting and test walk. You just walk in. There's no appointment needed. It's a 3-step system. These go right into your regular shoes, or you can get new shoes that they have right there. And the 3-step system: strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. Inserts that go into your shoes that will help you, without even realizing it, strengthen muscles, tendons, and ligaments to the point where the pain can go away. Commercial Drive, Unit Number 2, 4630, Commercial Drive, New Hartford, or call 315-999-3910 for details. And Davey, you wanted me to mention this one element here. Santa on the Farm.
Yes.
That is coming up November 29th. From 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. I know we're advertising a little early on this, but plan for it. Write it down. Save the date. Everything is free at the Shorer Family Farm, Dop Hill Road in Holland Patton. Bring a toy or non-perishable food item, and you'll be entered to win a contest. The Shorer Family Farm. Davey, you know these people.
Yes, I do. It's my sister and my brother-in-law. He put a lot of work into it, and it's a great place. And they've had 2 successful events, and
here we go.
And we want to be, we are going to be part of it.
Very nice. A couple of comments here. We have Father Sean in studio, Farmer Ben. Let's see. WIBX lays people off and then hires Jeff. Sounds like a lawsuit to me. I don't know that I should have read that, but
they haven't worked with Jeff.
Some interesting comments here this morning, but who else was
You never
complaining?
read the comments on here enough, and there's been a fall in comments because you don't read them. Well, I just thought you guys were talking amongst yourselves. Floyd Jr., 315, says, Father?
Yes, Floyd.
Father?
Yes.
I believe it's kind of like a tip of the hat. Father?
Oh, hello, Father. Oh, hello.
Like an old-fashioned father?
Yeah.
My lady?
Yeah, well, take it easy. It's
I'm
2025, but I'm not that far.
What else? A bunch of old geezers bitching and moaning.
That's us.
He's talking about just go to McDonald's. Same thing. No microphones there.
Yeah.
Bill doesn't work well with women. Okay, Beth, I'm sorry. I hope you're doing okay over there.
I disagree with that.
Father Ben is a hack. Oh, Lord. I'm telling you.
Oh, boy.
And you'll wonder why we don't read the comments.
Who's Father Ben, by the way?
Yeah, you're getting 2 people confused. What's a hack?
The funniest thing in the world. Father Ben is a hack.
Father Ben.
Time for Tim Julian to run for mayor. And then one more. If they get Bobo in Frankfurt, if they get hurt on a farm, Father Ben, what happens?
So if a migrant worker gets hurt on a farm, we take them right to the urgent care or the emergency room, and they do get treated just like a human being.
Yeah.
There's no question.
You
about
don't leave them in the ditch?
No, we don't throw them in the ditch. We don't do any of that. And the other thing I'd just like to mention quick off the air, we were just talking about traffic. It is becoming a regular problem now more than ever. The commonality of the farmers in discussion is road safety. Our equipment is getting bigger because there's only less than 2% of the farmers in the country feeding the other 98%. So we need large equipment to cover the acreage. So when you see a piece of farm machinery going down the road, if you can't see the driver of that piece of machinery, that driver can't see you. Just be patient, because at the end of the day, our harvest is almost over. We got probably another month of harvest left. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, to your listeners, we're feeding you, the customer. You people in the car that are mad at us farmers for being in the road, we're putting the bread and the food and the beef on your plate. So please take a moment and share the road.
Be courteous. And we've seen a couple of terrible accidents with the Amish.
Correct.
It's
getting darker earlier.
And also, I do think that we have a cell phone problem where we're distracted oftentimes. Manaski.
Father Sean was asking me, what is a hack?
What is a hack?
And the best
farmer.
A hack is 2
Father
things.
Ben hack.
It's an old vegetable truck, a Model T vegetable truck.
3
is a
things.
hack.
3 things. So a hack can be a unique way you figured out how to fix a problem. Yes. And it's usually on TikTok.
That's a hack, right? You hack into somebody's account.
TikTok hack. You could hack into someone's account.
How is a person a hack?
Well, a person who is a hack is an old has-been blowhard.
Oh.
That's how I would
we're
describe
old.
it.
Well, we're not blowhards. That's
old,
right.
Father.
That's right. And we're not has-beens. We is now.
That's right.
You go.
Apparently, every day that goes by.
I looked it up. It says a writer or journalist producing dull, unoriginal work, or a person who does dull, routine work. I've always heard it in the context.
There's a program there's a program on Netflix or Hulu or one of those called Hacks, and she's an old comedian, and it's a really cool story.
Always in the context of a comedian.
Great show, by the way.
But usually somebody who doesn't have original stuff.
Ryan Nobles would not be considered a hack because he's young enough and he's on the line right now, so I wouldn't want to call him a hack.
And I'm not old. I mean, my hair. For those of you watching on YouTube, my hair is not white. It's the lighting in this room.
It is very bright.
Yeah, and my hair is here.
Here is Ryan Nobles. Father Nobles.
Is he on the line?
I am a father, but I'm not that kind of father.
That is true.
Hey, Ryan.
Ryan, I wanted
to... Sean, how are you?
Good. It's good to hear your voice.
Likewise.
Hey, Ryan, Ben Simons, how are you?
Ben, who you?
Hey, Ben. No, these are all my old favorites.
That's right.
How exciting.
And then Beth Irons. Do you know Ryan?
Well, I know him from reputation as a broadcaster on KTV.
That is true.
But I just want to give you a heads up, Ryan. They're throwing you in the deep end of the pool this morning, right out of the gate. So just be careful.
I hope you brought your water wings.
That's how every Wednesday works for me on this show.
It does, yeah.
Ben, I'm pretty sure that the 15 cords of wood that you gave me on my house in Hillside Avenue, I'm sure the owners of that house are probably still using that wood.
Yeah, when we were off the air, I did mention to the group here that you used to buy firewood from me. So
on the microphone, you're talking into the headphones.
Oh, yeah, we met through Channel 2 News, and then you used to buy firewood from me, and every time I see you on the evening news, I go, hey, there's my firewood customer down in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I'll never forget you saying, I got a couple cord of wood for you. Where do you want me to put it? And I'm like, and you said, I said, just stick it in my driveway. And I came home and I was stacking that wood for the next 3 weeks. It was more wood than I'd ever seen in my whole life.
Was it 15 quart of wood?
It was quite a load, and it was my way of showing appreciation for Ryan Nobles that covered agriculture.
A real appreciation would have been unload it in the back
and stack it for him.
That's awesome.
He needed the exercise.
Yes, that's good. That was your noble attempt for the next several weeks there in New Hartford.
Yes.
Okay, Ryan. By the way, I did want to ask you. I know there's a little interesting, and this is personal, so tell me what you can tell me. But I know that the switch is coming where the severance, if you will, NBC and MSNBC, MS is about to lose the NBC, and there's a split where people are going one way and the news people are going the other. And I assume you're on the NBC side.
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked about it because I do think a lot of people are confused by it or maybe not even aware of what's happening. Basically, it's a corporate split where Comcast, the company that owns NBC Universal, is splitting off its cable assets into a new independent company called Versant. And so MSNBC, CNBC, the Golf Channel, the Sci-Fi Network, a few other of these cable channels that were originally under the Comcast umbrella are going to become their own company. And the way that impacts me directly is that MSNBC and CNBC, which I have appeared on both over the course of my time at NBC, are now going to be part of a separate company. And, by the end of the year, we're going to be competitors. So it's led to a kind of an awkward situation for us in our newsroom because, we've worked with the folks at MSNBC for a long time. I know I've been on MSNBC air for, more than 3 years. And actually, October 20th is the day that the correspondents in the D.C. Bureau will no longer appear on MS Air. And then MS is going to go through a period of transition where in November they're going to rebrand and be known as MS Now as opposed to MSNBC. They'll lose all the NBC branding, the Peacock and everything along those lines. And then we, as the NBC News organization, we're going to be completely independent of MS Now. And, we are still going to have the Today Show and nightly news, our local stations across the country. And then, of course, our streaming platform, NBC News Now, which is, I anchor on there quite a bit at 4 o'clock. And that is growing like crazy. It's free and available on our app. You can get it on YouTube. You can get it anywhere. It's on YouTube TV as well if you're a YouTube TV subscriber. So we're really kind of focusing our effort on that streaming platform as the future. And of course, our digital project, NBCnews.com, is also growing like crazy. And I do think, from someone like me who is a straight news reporter, MS, certain day parts is certainly more on the opinion side of things. And I think you're probably going to see that network lean into that a little bit more. And if that's your preference and that's what you're into, I think it's actually going to be good for them to grow in that space. But I'm committed to kind of straight down the middle news and kind of core journalism. And I think that's part of what this split's going to allow us to do. So it's not easy. It's there's a lot of good people that I've worked with for a long time that I respect and admire that I'm not going to get to work with anymore. But there's a bright future here as a result of this, and I think it's probably ultimately going to be better for both companies.
If I'm correct, the election coverage will be the last merged coverage, and after that the split happens. The entire split.
And even that if you actually paid close attention to it, like on election nights, we've been for quite a while. There's a distinct MS broadcast versus a distinct NBC News broadcast. For instance, on election night last year, I was only on NBC Air. Only was on our streaming channel and then only on the network. So that would be Channel 2 in Utica. And so we've already there've been subtle. We've been making this subtle shift for quite a while. Like, for instance, I used to fill in as an anchor on MSNBC. I haven't done that in 6 or 8 months as we've begun this transition. So
really, it's a switch between news, and we've talked about this often. There's such a difference between a news person and an opinion person, and all of the cable networks are basically opinion. And versus.
Well, I don't know. I'd be reluctant to go that far on it. I do think that what our MS is building is, they're hiring and they're establishing an independent newsroom that are going to be filled with journalists that are going to try and report the news as fairly as possible. So it's not as if they're going to go completely opinion based. But I do think the problem is, and it's something that we've wrestled with, and the same issue when I was at CNN as well, because there were a fair number of CNN commentators who kind of came out of it more of a perspective than straight news, is that the viewer doesn't really make that distinction. And so if you are somebody that happened to watch Rachel Maddow at 9 o'clock on Mondays, and she does a terrific job, but she clearly comes from a perspective, then everybody else under that moniker kind of gets typecast under that.
Right.
And so that I think that's, and I don't blame the viewer for that. And I don't think the viewer is going to be, the average viewer is going to necessarily understand this separation on the granular level that we're dealing with. But it is the reality of kind of the future of television news and where things are going. It's a very difficult marketplace right now. And I think this is our corporate boss is trying to make it as profitable as possible going forward. So,
and just to let Steve know, he's complaining that we don't ever ask use their comments on YouTube. I'm not going to ask Ryan that question. Well, I'll tell you what, he's wondering when Scarborough is going to be fired. Can you predict it? And you're not going to be able to answer that. You can't answer that. You have a job to keep.
Well, I would suggest that Joe Scarborough gets very, very good ratings and makes MS a lot of money. So I don't think, and he's good at what he does. So I don't think that I think his future is bright. Put it that way.
Father Sean, you look like you want to say something.
I got nothing.
Okay.
He's not the best in the business for anything, folks.
Now I feel like I am at McDonald's in the corner. We're in the corner and we're just chatting. We're all just chatting. Go ahead.
Well, the best way to remain unbiased is to not say anything,
That's
I guess.
a good point.
That's right. Yeah, I got nothing.
I have you for, we got about 4 minutes, but I do want to, do you think there is, because it's starting to, I know we've been focused a lot on Israel in the news cycle, but do you think there's enough pressure coming from airports and other places and people being laid off or furloughed that Democrats and Republicans are realizing maybe there's a solution to at least a temporary end to the shutdown, or is this going to continue?
No, in fact, the exact opposite. I don't think that they feel that there's any pressure right now to move from their entrenched positions, and I actually think it's the opposite. I think that they feel that they have been emboldened by this. I think that the Republican supporters are cheering Donald Trump and his kind of dismantling of the federal government on, and I think Democrats feel that they've caught a lane here with their arguments around health care, and that it reaches a broad base of the American public who kind of understand and agree with them that health care is a fight worth having, even if it means the government is shut down. I think the inconveniences at this point to a broad base of Americans still remain relatively minor. Now, that's easy for me to say if I'm not a federal government employee who's not getting a paycheck, or an active duty service member who's worried if their pay is coming through. But I do think that there's certainly some mild inconveniences at airports and things along those lines, but they might not necessarily directly be connected to the shutdown. So I don't think that there's a huge motivation right now for these guys to wake up and get something done, which is not great. And I, the interesting thing is I've kind of come to the idea that there's only one person that can solve this shutdown right now, and his name is Donald Trump. And for whatever reason, Trump has decided not to be directly involved in these negotiations. He's obviously instructed his Office of Management and Budget to play hardball with these deep cuts to the federal workforce and to Democrat policy programs. But he himself has not said, all right, let's see if we can come up with a deal. And he is the deal maker.
Mm-hmm.
And until he gets off the sidelines, I think the shutdown continues.
Wow. If you support Republicans, you're good with this, what Republicans are doing. If you support Democrats, you're good with what they're doing. Looks like America to me. That's where we are right now. So, wow.
Yeah, and it could go, 34 days is the record. That gets us past Election Day, or around Election Day. There's two elections in Virginia and New Jersey. Maybe that's the first wake-up call if one side does really well in those elections. But there's a scenario where, maybe the Democrat squeaks by in Virginia and maybe the Republican squeaks by in New Jersey, and both sides are like, what we're doing is working, and we're still end up in the same place.
All right, Ryan, thank you. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks so much. Ryan Nobles from NBC. Father Sean, thank you.
Yes.
Come back, please.
Have me back anytime.
We were kind of tight today. And
that's all right. I'm glad to be invited anytime, Bill.
Glad you're a part of it. Ben, thank you. Beth as well. And Manaski, welcome back aboard. And Davey, of course, I'm about to break. Bath Makeover Month in New York Sash. It's going on right now, where you can save up to 20% on a bathroom in just 2 days. Go to their website, newyorksash.com, for details.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
Israel keeps demanding Hamas give back all the hostages. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We will spare no effort and no means to return them.
That's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The 20 living hostages were set free Monday, but Hamas has only turned over 7 bodies so far. Of the 28 dead hostages it's obligated to return. Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
The release of these bodies may be a sticking point before entering into phase 2 of the agreement. Regional media reports that Egyptian teams will enter Gaza to help Hamas locate the remains. One of the bodies that was released earlier this week was that of Yossi Sharabi. His brother Eli was held hostage for nearly 500 days.
It was a mixed feeling for our family.
Hamas is also supposed to give up their weapons as part of the Gaza ceasefire deal. President Trump says,
if they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
There have been more clashes in suburban Chicago between law enforcement and anti-ICE protesters who got tear-gassed after throwing rocks. Meanwhile,
the Department of Homeland Security saying it's obtained credible intelligence that criminal organizations in Mexico are continuing to offer thousands of dollars, bounties, for U.S.-based sympathizers, including street gangs in Chicago, to monitor, harass, and assassinate federal agents.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. A Latin Kings gang member has already been charged with offering a bounty for someone to kill a Border Patrol chief. Los Angeles County California has declared a state of emergency in response to federal illegal immigration raids. There's a voting rights case at the Supreme Court next hour over one the justices heard back in March and will consider again.
A case that asks the question, did Louisiana lawmakers in 2024 rely too much on race to create a second majority black congressional district? Black voters sued in 2022 when the state legislature created one majority-minority district, even though Louisiana's population was then 1/3 black. A group of so-called non-African Americans countersued.
That's Colonel Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
Dr. Halbert here. Are you tired of standing in front of the paint aisle wondering which product really works? That's exactly why I invented Blue Stop. It took me 10 years to perfect Blue Stop's unique and effective formula. As a surgeon, I saw how stiff joints, sore muscles, and body aches kept too many people from enjoying life. Blue Stop works fast, absorbs quick, and smells great. No prescription, no waiting. It's on the shelf right now at Walmart. Feel the difference.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
Are your windows old and tired? Hard to put up and down? Builder's grade windows just aren't made to last very long. Patriot Home Solutions is a different kind of window company. No games or gimmicks, no long